years under old friend and now Wildcats head coach Tommy Lloyd. As the Wildcats get the win, Caleb Love with 19 points in the victory. He also dished out 5 assists. Wildcats had 4 players in double figures as they notched the win 78-68, and they end the Dayton Flyers season. Time to send it back now to the Delta Center in Salt Lake City, where that game just ended. Tom Hudson and Adam Morrison as we continue to get you set for Gonzaga and Kansas. Fellas?
Dave, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. And Mo, the story about the kid from Oakland, for every one of these people who's out there saying this tournament needs to expand and you need to kick out more of the mid-major teams and allow some of the bottom teams in the Power Fives to participate in this tournament, all you have to do is look at the Oakland kid.
Yeah.
That kid was a 0-star recruit coming out of high school. He was playing Division II. He was driving an Uber and delivering DoorDash, trying to make ends meet while he was playing college basketball. Gets an opportunity at the Division I level at Oakland, and he makes 10 threes in a game. If that's not what this thing is a lot about, I don't know what is. What a great story.
Yeah, it was fantastic to watch him play, too. He was coming off flares, pin downs, and just... I've been in that zone. I didn't have 10 threes in a game, but I've been in that where it's just anytime you square up and let it go, it's going in. So great story, like you said. If this tournament expands, it'd be the dumbest thing in the history of sports. This is the best 3-week-long, month-long sporting event besides the World Cup. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you match those two things together, it's the best long sporting event on the planet. Does not need to change. I don't know what Tom Izzo is thinking about. He's a legend, but I don't know what he's thinking about. We can't have teams that are finishing below 500 in their leagues just to get in, just because they're in a big league. I just don't understand it. So you're exactly right.
It was great story, and they advanced. 10 threes made by a kid who nobody was interested in when he was coming out of high school.
Awesome.
And one of the darlings in the NCAA tournament. Also, don't forget, Gonzaga baseball is at home this weekend. It's busy back in Spokane. The Zags are playing. They won their WCC opener last night. We'll actually have the game tomorrow when Bulldogs wrap up their series starting at noon. But, boy, they also had some spring volleyball going on, some soccer going on. It's busy back in Spokane. Obviously, the men's tournament taking place downtown as well. So good stuff happening back in our home city. And we're hoping that there'll be some celebrating here in about 3 hours as Gonzaga and Kansas get ready to go. Both teams just taking the floor. We have yet to see the timing sheets tell us when we're going to start. We were supposed to start at 1:15 local time, but with 12 minutes until that, it's not going to happen. They've got 25 minutes up on the clock. I'm guessing that's to get us to introductions. So probably about 30 minutes before we tip off our game here in Salt Lake City.
You know what the best part about this is? Our boss is on the mic. He's on the mic listening right now. We need a raise for this extended pregame deals that we got going on. I mean, last night it was a 22-minute slider 2 days ago.
Yep.
Sorry, Dottie.
No, you're good. Yep, we're sliding again. Well, you think every once in a while the schedulers in these tournaments would maybe give you a little more of a kind of cushion in between games because with extra timeouts and longer timeouts and
it's
longer
like
halftime
spacing
shows.
out the tee times at your local muni. Let's just put it 8 minutes apart. And, why is it stacked?
Right.
Same thing with this. Well, I wonder why, but we don't pay the bills, so whatever, man.
We don't. We are going to take a quick break here in Salt Lake City. As Gonzaga gets ready to take on Kansas, we are situated right next to the Gonzaga pep band for today's game. We've just been handed the timing sheet. 1:33 is going to be our tip, so we'll tip things off in 18 minutes here in Salt Lake City. With American Credit Union, money answers people know Gonzaga does in fact exist. Plus, show your Bulldog pride with the Zags debit card offered only at America, federally insured by NCAA. Gonzaga, the 5 seed. Kansas, the number 4. Getting ready to go here in Salt Lake City. Final game here this weekend at the Delta Center. The winner of this one is moving on to the Sweet 16 in the Midwest region in Detroit. We will take a break. When we come back, we're going to hear from Bulldogs head coach Mark Feud. You're listening to Gonzaga Bulldog Basketball from Learfield.
Want to earn some extra money this winter? Spokane International Airport is hiring multiple seasonal snow removal equipment operators. These are on-call positions for the upcoming winter season from November 2023 to March 2024. You can earn up to $36 an hour. Some positions require a CDL, and previous experience in operating snow removal equipment is highly preferred. Join our team today. Learn more and apply by visiting SpokaneSnow.com.
BECU, You've heard the name, seen the letters. But what does BECU stand for? Simply put, not-for-profit BECU stands for people. For charting your own path. For choosing what's right for members instead of what's profitable for someone else. Because they are the reason our credit union exists. So we do everything in our power to help them reach their financial goals. BECU. Power in people. All Pacific Northwest residents are eligible to join. Federally insured by NCUA.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Papa Murphy's $9.99 extra large New York style pizza
is a big deal.
So we're going big to tell everyone about it. How big? We're talking action movie big. Carving $9.99 XLNY into a mountainside big. And shouting it from the literal mountaintops big. Because the XLNY is everything you can expect from a classic New York style pizza, hot and fresh out of your oven for just $9.99. Order the XLNY pizza at papamurphys.com.
We're back on the pregame show with Bulldogs head coach Mark Few. Mark, so many great efforts and a great team effort. A lot of people talking about how good McNeese was. We saw they had some pretty good athletes. They won 30 games, and you went out and really put a number on them.
Yeah, we did. We did. I think we were really, really hyper-focused, and I think all maybe the chatter and everything, I'm not going to say it motivated us, but it certainly really, really got our guys' attention, and they came out and executed the plan on both sides of the ball, maybe as well as we have in any of the games this year. Our defense was really, really good, and we really held them out of transition by taking care of the ball. And then offensively, that was a concern with how they were switching everything and turning guys over and aggressively doubling the post. But our post did a great job of kicking it out and finding guys.
Well, Anton was fantastic. And how about Dusty coming in? It's his first game, hasn't been scored a whole lot, and all the guards knocked down some big shots early.
Yeah, and again, man, life is better and you look better and play better and flow when you just make shots. I mean, and for us to come out and shoot the ball like that from three, especially in the first half, I mean, that just changes everything. And as you know, we've had a lot of games where we haven't been able to do that. So hopefully we can stay on that trend and keep our defense at the level it was at. But got a huge challenge here today.
Hey, Coach, before we get to that 15 straight first-round wins, I keep telling him, I'm like, man, this Steph Curry, I mean, he's wrapping down a Hall of Fame career, and that's the last time that you lost a first-round game. 15 in a row is just a ridiculous number in this tournament.
It is a ridiculous number, and some of these things that we're doing, whether it's 26 straight NCAA tournaments or 15 straight, sometimes I think are just getting lost in the moment or whatever, and everybody's hyper-focusing on the last time we lost or whatever. And those are amazing streaks, and all the Zags that have came through here deserve a ton of credit for what's been accomplished. But now, if we get this one, we got another amazing streak that's on the line, the Sweet 16 one. But boy, this is a formidable challenge.
Yeah, Coach, you look at this team. I know with the loss of McCullers obviously hurts. They're not real deep, but the six guys that they're playing in that rotation are pretty darn talented.
They're really talented. I mean, this was a team that was number one for a while this year, and Dickinson's just a load. He's a load, and he's a heck of a basketball player. He can really, really pass. He can really score. So it starts with him, creates a lot of problems there. KJ Adams is a lot like Anton. I mean, he's their problem solver and really athletic and just does everything for them, defends, rebounds, passes, obviously scores around the hoop. And then they got a great little point guard like we have in DeJuan Harris. And so, I mean, slowing those guys down and directing the ball hopefully to some other people, but then also being able to score on the other end. Bill's teams have always been terrific defensively. They have a good rim protector, so that's going to be interesting to see how Graham and B. Huff can handle that.
All right, Coach, thanks a lot. Yep. Quick break. Back right after this. You're listening to Gonzaga Bulldog Basketball from Learfield.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Inland Imaging and Community Cancer Fund are teaming up to beat cancer. Low-dose screening CT exams may reduce lung cancer deaths by more than 20% by finding early-stage cancers other methods miss. If you're over 50, a longtime smoker, or have other risk factors, lung cancer screening can provide potentially life-saving answers. Ask your doctor or call 363-7799. Inland Imaging. Answers you can trust and care you can count on.
Support Gonzaga men's basketball through NIL. Zags Collective is the leading NIL collective supporting Zags student athletes through name, image, and likeness. Zags Collective creates opportunities for student athletes to engage with the community and grow their brand. Plus, you get access to autograph sessions, exclusive events, and more. Become a member today. Go to zagscollective.com and get started.
Want to earn some extra money this winter? Spokane International Airport is hiring multiple seasonal snow removal equipment operators. These are on-call positions for the upcoming winter season from November 2023 to March 2024. You can earn up to $36 an hour. Some positions require a CDL, and previous experience in operating snow removal equipment is highly preferred. Join our team today. Learn more and apply by visiting SpokaneSnow.com.
On the Gonzaga Sports Network.
That's right side. Power dribble from Watson off the glass and in.
Time to dance.
Lets it fly and silences the crowd. Three-pointer. Demo to pass in the corner. It's Stromer for three. It's good. And the Bulldogs are rolling.
Bulldogs, Jayhawks. Tip-off is next. Live play-by-play coverage of Gonzaga basketball is brought to you by Numerica. Numerica Credit Union. Life moves. Live well. Federally insured by NCAA. Now let's go courtside. Alongside Adam Morrison, here's the voice of the Zags, Tom Hudson.
Tom Hudson, Adam Morrison with you here in Salt Lake City. We're at the Delta Center where the fifth-seeded Bulldogs in the Midwest region are getting ready to take on the number 4 Kansas. A dream matchup in the NCAA tournament between two of the best teams over the last 2.5 decades in college basketball, squaring off here in the second round in Salt Lake City. Mo, what a treat we have here today. You would have thought that we would have met Kansas at some point throughout this remarkable 25-year run. Never played the Jayhawks in the NCAA tournament. Maybe a little earlier than you would have thought, but hey, both teams are here, and somebody's headed to the Sweet 16 after today.
Yeah, it's a fantastic matchup. It's contrasting styles. Team that's not very deep on the other side, similar to us, probably about 7-6 guys. Good inside presence. We like to play a little bit faster. Hall of Fame coaches. Going to be a fun one.
Yeah, Mo, it will be interesting to watch. We talk about the depth, and we know the Bulldogs aren't super deep, and you talk about it at this time of year. You're cutting your rotations down.
Yeah.
For this Kansas team, with the loss of Kevin McCullers, their leading scorer, I mean, it's going to be 6 guys, and they'll try to sneak a breather in here, for a minute or two with a couple other players. But essentially, we're going to see 6. You talk about foul trouble, and it's always interesting, right? The notion you want to obviously try to get them in foul trouble. That would be an advantage, but you don't necessarily want to force that either, right? If you just keep throwing it at Graham, just have them just bump it into Dickinson, you get out of what you're trying to do.
Yeah, you got to still play your game. Obviously, you create foul pressure by running. Quick duck-ins from the weak side, things of that nature, but also it can't be just playing to foul, right? You got to go up and try to finish through contact and then worry about the foul call later. But attacking Dickerson is going to be paramount. I think for Graham, he's got to get low post touches. I say that all year, and it's no different in this game. If he's posting up out to 15, 16 feet, he's not as good. If he gets his touches around the block, 8 feet and in, he's so much better. I wish I had that, if it was an NBA, deal, we would have the shooting chart, and like extreme analytics, but I'm sure he's a 10%, 15% difference when he gets his catches out to 15. So he's got to be able to focus on that. And then hopefully we can bait Dickerson into getting a couple, cheap fouls maybe on rebounds. But again, like you said, you just got to go up and play basketball.
It's going to be a matchup that when you kind of look across the board, Mo, I mean, pretty straight up. You look at these starting guards. I mean, Juwan Harris, has been fantastic. He was their point guard when they won it all back in 2022. We talk about Johnny Furphy. He's a young kid who reclassified. He's from Australia, was playing in that NBA academy, came on a tour, played so well. He was able to reclassify and now is playing for one of the top programs in the country. Pretty good shooter, pretty good rebounder, pretty good defender at 6'9". Be interesting to see that matchup on the wing. We talk about KJ Adams versus Anton Watson. That's going to be fascinating to watch in tonight's game. So there are going to be some really fun individual matchups as well as obviously the team matchup here in Salt Lake City.
Yeah, I think Furphy's kind of one of their X-Factor guys. He's an NBA talent, NBA-type body, 6'9", out on the perimeter, can shoot it. Had a good game when we watched him live last time. I think, Ben Gregg's going to have to try to neutralize him with his hustle. He can't allow him to get going offensively. And then he's got to push him around on the glass. And then the Adams and Anton matchup is going to be fun to watch, because those are two, similar players. I think Anton's more skilled. I think Adams is a better athlete. But I think Anton does more offensively. But they're both guys that are so important for, the success of both teams on the little stuff that they do. I know, they're stat stuffer, but if you're coaches and you watch the game, he swung the ball, or he got his hand on the ball. They just do all the little stuff that help you win basketball games. We got to neutralize Adams on the glass especially. But it's going to be fun matchups all around the board. I mean, Nembhard's got to play good. He's played great last game, 8 points, 9 assists. He's got to play that style of where he's under control, but he's pushing the pace. And then Nolan Hickman's got to shoot the ball well.
And you talked about Ryan Nembhard, 42 assists in his last 4 games. He's averaging about 14.5 points. Been in double figures in 7 of his last 8. So he has really played well for the Bulldogs here. And you talk about that matchup is going to be a big one, Mo, because if Ryan can continue to play the way that he has of late, you have to like the Zags' chances, because the way he's been throwing it around and sharing it, it has made this team pretty darn good.
Well, it gets everybody involved, and obviously it creates foul pressure, and then you flatten the defense. Now, he didn't have a great game in the championship game where he kind of got out of control, and he'd go 5 for 14 or something. It was like too many shot attempts. Not that he can't score, but he was kind of pushing the pace. We didn't win, right? So I think you're exactly right. If he's playing under control but still doing the things that he does, getting to the heart of the defense, not challenging shot blockers, pinging it out, and then little pocket passes, and then taking the shots that come with you, he's an elite point guard, so he's got to obviously do that tonight against a very good Kansas team.
Kansas is essentially going to bring one player off the bench in Elmarco Jackson. He averages about 4 points a game, a former McDonald's All-American, just a freshman who has not played a whole lot this year, but with some injuries, he has seen more playing time of late. For the Zags, for the most part, we're going to see Dusty Stromer and Braden Huff, maybe Luka Krajinovic. We didn't expect to see Luka, quite frankly, on Thursday, and he was able to play 11 minutes, and a lot of that was, he played in the first half and then played meaningful minutes in the second before that thing got out of control. So it's going to be interesting to see. We talked about the depth. They're going to have one guy coming off the bench, the Zags, potentially 3, and let's see how those matchups go, too. If Dusty's aggressive again, I'm excited, Mo, to see how Dusty backs up Thursday. Obviously, you don't want him to force anything, but let's see if there's a little bump in confidence for the freshman as we head down the home stretch.
Yeah, we got to have a scoring threat off the bench, and if he can give us 8 to 12, it'd be fantastic. And like I said, that Furphy matchup might be interesting. They're similar, length. Dusty's athletic. I think Furphy's a little bit stronger and a little bit taller, obviously, but that could be a matchup where we could feel like defensively we can play that straight up. But he played fantastic the other night and gave us a really big spark off the bench. And sometimes it only takes one of those type of games where the ball starts going in and then everything starts to work. But again, overall, and I'm going to keep saying this, I'm sorry if I'm beating a dead horse, but how are they going to play us inside Dickerson versus EK? The last few games when we've been successful, teams have gone to the double team. San Francisco and then McNeese. And what do we get? Towed up, wide open threes, and we made them. Yep. St. Mary's didn't double team, right? I wonder if, and you think with Dickerson, are they going to go straight up? So now how are we going to get some of those quote-unquote open looks? It's going to be paramount that our guards can get into the seams, but I'm curious to see at the start of the game, how do they play Graham EK inside?
2 teams that have had all sorts of success, easy for me to say, in the NCAA tournament here. I probably shouldn't have gone with that one, but
way to have battle through it, Huddy.
Yeah, thanks. The Bulldogs just on a remarkable run, Mo, and the things that they've been able to do. Again, 15 consecutive trips to the second round of the NCAA tournament, 17 straight for Kansas. Bulldogs have been to 8 consecutive Sweet 16s, looking to make it 9 here this afternoon. Gonzaga has won 45 tournament games against 23 losses now over the years. Meanwhile, when you look at Kansas, and we talk about Blue Blood, they've won 6 national titles. 4 of those have been at the NCAA tournament. 2 have come under Bill Self. Kansas is 113-49 all time in the NCAA tournament. So 2 of the teams that have had some of the best histories in the NCAA tournament. Obviously, Kansas is a little bit longer than the Bulldogs. But, Mo, what a fun matchup and all of the stuff surrounding this here today. We talked about North Carolina, Michigan State playing a second-round game. That's going to be a fun one, too. Those are 2 of the teams that have been right at the top with Kansas and with Gonzaga. But what a matchup, what kind of excitement we have here with 2 of the best programs over the last 25 years playing in this ballgame.
Yeah, NCAA tournament committee's dream. You want these blue blood matchups. Everybody likes upsets, but also they like to see the power programs play each other. And we've never played in the NCAA tournament, and we've gone 25 straight years or whatever it is. And you mentioned what's their record, 27
They're
or something?
34.
34. Yeah. So, it's crazy that we haven't ran into each other in all those years of, dominance. So this is going to be a great matchup. Again, 2 Hall of Fame coaches, 2 great inside players, great guard play, teams that like to get up and down but don't play crazy, you know what I mean? But it's not going to be a grind out, walk the ball up the floor like we watched St. Mary's last night. We almost fell asleep watching the game against Grand Canyon, and God bless them. But sometimes it's just like, let's play a little bit faster. So looking forward to this one. It's going to be a fun one. I think, a lot of pundits didn't have us beat McNeese, and now I think we're, in the eyes of some of the American public that we're, should be the favorite. But I think we kind of have nothing to lose in this type of scenario as well. This is Kansas. This is a team that's supposed to be here, and we weren't even supposed to be in the tournament 6 weeks ago or whatever it was, a month ago. So a lot to play for, but a lot to kind of go out there and just let it rip.
It's amazing to see what the crowd is like here today.
Yeah,
it's interesting with the pods now, right? So the fans of Arizona and Dayton, Arizona won the game. They're not going to sit around and watch because they're not going to play the winner of this. They're headed to a different city for the Sweet 16 next week. Obviously the Arizona fans are excited. They're probably going to go out and have some lunch and celebrate a little bit. Dayton fans are disappointed. Some folks might have been trying to get out of town. It's amazing to see because the tickets are all sold in sessions, right?
Yeah.
So the Arizona fans get up and walk out the door, and their seats won't be filled. So we'll see. But it should be a great atmosphere because Kansas obviously travels tremendously. The Zags close to home, about an hour and 15 minutes away by air, able to travel exceptionally well in this NCAA tournament too. So still should be a fun environment. How about a quick update? Dave Polanski standing by in our Learfield, North Carolina studios to let us know what's going on around the NCAA tournament. Dave?
Yeah, Huddy, you just mentioned one of the elite games in college basketball aside from Gonzaga and Kansas. Michigan State and North Carolina are going to be tipping off at 2:30 from Charlotte at the Spectrum Center. The winner of that matchup will take on the winner of Alabama or Grand Canyon in the West Regional Semifinal next week in Los Angeles. Carolina with a 90-62 win over number 16 seed Wagner in the first round on Thursday. Their 132nd win in the NCAA tournament. That is the most all-time against a Michigan State squad that was able to stifle Mississippi State in the first round, 69-51, notching their 20th win for the 12th time in the last 13 seasons. And March is Izzo time, 15-4 in round of 32 games under Tom Izzo, trying to get to the Sweet 16 for a second straight year as they'll try and take down a North Carolina team that they have struggled against in the NCAA tournament. 0-5 all-time in NCAA tournament matchups between the Tar Heels and Spartans. Last time they met was the 2009 National Championship game in Detroit, which North Carolina ended up winning. Also going on later on, other juicy matchups going on in this on this Saturday in the NCAA tournament. Former coaches taking on their old programs, as you have Tennessee and Texas going at it in Charlotte later on today. Tennessee being led by Rick Barnes, who just was able to record his 200th win at Tennessee on Thursday and an 83-49 blowout win over St. Peter's. He's 200 and 100 at Tennessee, but he's also the all-time winningest coach in Texas history as they take on the Longhorns today. Won 402 games in 17 years in Austin. Texas was able to get past Colorado State 56-44, holding the Rams to just 29% shooting from the field. Second fewest points that the Longhorns have allowed in an NCAA tournament game. Now they're going to be tasked with shutting down Dalton Knecht, which will be a tough task. 23 points against St. Peter's. He has 21 points per game this year, 16th best in the country. And also coming up, you also have another matchup between a coach and his former squad. Creighton and Oregon, the Ducks being led by Dana Altman, who used to lead Creighton for 17 years, won 327 games as the head man of the Blue Jays from 1994 through 2010 before going to Eugene. Greg McDermott took over. Right now, he's 3 wins shy of Dana Altman for the most in Creighton history at 324. Creighton got past Akron 77-60 in the first round on Thursday. Oregon, they trounced South Carolina 87-73 in the first round. They've won 5 in a row after capturing the Pac-12 tournament title. So, Huddy, Mo, as we send it back to you guys at the Delta Center, lots of intriguing matchups. I know the committee says they never really look at that stuff when they select the brackets, the previous Sunday, but it almost feels like they have the script going for this one, doesn't it?
It definitely does, Dave, without a doubt. There are some big-time matchups, big-time showdowns, powerhouse schools. You mentioned coaches playing against their former teams, against their former schools. Some great individual matchups. Great Saturday, the first one of the NCAA tournament this year, is on tap, including this one. The 4th-seeded Kansas Jayhawks taking on the number 5 Zags. Well, it's almost time for basketball in Salt Lake City. When we come back, we've got our starting lineups, Mo's keys to the game, and our opening tip. It's all coming up next. You're listening to Gonzaga Bulldog basketball from Learfield.
This is the sound of Arby's sweet and savory brown sugar bacon. You're listening to an ingredient in a sandwich, and the sandwich is already great. Now do yourself a favor. Upgrade from an Arby's brown sugar bacon sandwich in your ears to an Arby's brown sugar bacon sandwich in your mouth. Arby's, we have the meats.
At participating Arby's for a limited time.
Have you tried Wake Up Call's signature energy drink, Mad Hatter? Made with 12 all-natural ingredients and 11% less sugar, it's bound to help you keep those New Year's resolutions. Try it during Mad Hatter Happy Hour, every Monday through Friday from 4 to close. It'll add that extra pep in your step you need to cheer on the Zags. Drink local, drink Wake Up Call.
We care about your safety. If you need to break ground on a new outdoor project, be aware that buried electric and natural gas lines can be anywhere. It's the law to call 811 at least 2 business days before you dig. Spray paint white lines showing your dig zone, and a crew will mark the utility lines. Mark accuracy zone is within 2 feet of the mark, so always hand dig to expose the line first. Call 811 before you dig. The service is free for residential customers. Avista, we just want you to be safe.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
What a matchup we have in Salt Lake City this afternoon. 2 teams that have combined for 59 consecutive NCAA tournament appearances, 32 consecutive first-round wins, and a pair of coaches who have combined to win over 1,500 games in their careers. It's the 5th-seeded Zags and number 4 Kansas. The winner is headed to Detroit for the Sweet 16. Let's take a look at our starting lineups for tonight's game. First, for the Jayhawks. They are the higher seed, will wear their home white uniforms. DeJuan Harris Jr. is the starting point guard. He averages 8.5 points and 6.5 rebounds per game. He's a senior, 6'2", 270-pounder. He'll be joined in the backcourt by Nicholas Timberlake, the transfer from Towson, 6'4", 495-pound guard, averaging just over 5 points per game. Also in the starting lineup, Johnny Furphy, the outstanding Australian freshman, reclassified to this year after having a stellar NBA Academy tournament. averaging 9 points and nearly 5 rebounds per game. On the front line, we're going to see K.J. Adams Jr. He is a load. The junior out of Austin, Texas, 6'7", 235 pounds, averages nearly 13 points and 4.5 rebounds per game. Starting in the middle, it is Hunter Dickinson. 7'2", 260 pounds. Transfer from Michigan, where he's a 3-time All-Big Ten performer. He averages a double-double, 18 points, 11.1 rebounds per game. For the Bulldogs, Ryan Nembhard gets a start at the point. He's averaging 13 points and nearly 7 assists per game. He's joined in the starting backcourt by Nolan Hickman, who's scoring nearly 14 points per contest. Starting on the wing for the Bulldogs will be Ben Gregg, getting his 18th start of the year. Ben averaging 9 points, 5.6 rebounds per game. On the front line, we'll see Anton Watson, the only Zag in school history to score 1,000 points, pull down 700 rebounds, and have 200 steals. Anton's averaging 14.3 points, 7.3 rebounds, was an assist shy of a triple-double in the win over McNeese on Thursday night. Graham Ike starts in the middle. He had a double-double, 16 and 10 on Thursday night. The 6'9", 240-pounder is averaging 16.5 points, 7.2 rebounds. Dickinson, Harris, Furphy, Adams, and Timberlake for Kansas. Nembhard, Hickman, Ike, Watson, and Gregg, the starting 5 for Gonzaga. Mo, keys to the game as the Bulldogs get ready to take on the Kansas Jayhawks.
We got to establish Graham Ike inside versus Dickerson. We talked about their lack of depth. He cannot get in foul trouble. Dickerson is a great defender inside. Graham's got to get low post touches. Second, we got to play with our pace. Obviously, these teams like to get up and down, but we like to play a little bit faster. I think physically and athletically, they're a little bit better. So if we can make it a quicker game, it'll be beneficial to us. Third, I think it's most important, we got to win the glass. We haven't talked about the glass much. We've done a pretty good job on it. But Adams Jr. and Dickerson are a load inside. Big 12 bodies, Big 12 athletes, Furphy as well. We can't allow them to dominate us on the glass.
That's a look at our keys to the game as we get ready for tip here between the 5th-seeded Zags and number 4 Kansas. Kansas comes out of its huddle wearing its home white uniforms to the higher seed with a blue and red trim. Kansas across her chest. Their names on the backs of the uniforms. Gonzaga wearing the traditional road blues with the red and white trim. Gonzaga across her chest. Their names in white on the backs of the uniforms. Gonzaga is going to move left to right in the first 20 minutes of action here at the Delta Center. Keith Kimball, Brent Hampton, and Nathan Farrell are the officials for this afternoon's NCAA tournament game. The winner is headed to Detroit. The Zags looking to make it 9 straight Sweet 16s. EK to jump center for the Bulldogs. Dickinson for Kansas. The ball is in the air, and it is controlled by the Jayhawks. Tipped into the backcourt to Harris, who will bring Kansas into the offensive end. Gets a screen from Timberlake, and now another one from Adams. Dribbles over to his right, defended by Gregg. Skips it left side. Timberlake coming off a screen, finds Dickinson. He'll shoot it from the wing. The 18-footer rims out. Nembhard rebounds. Ryan brings it up the floor slowly. Again, the Bulldogs move left to right in the first 20 minutes here. Ryan dribbling out top, waits for a screen from Ike, gets it to the left wing. Hands off to Watson. Anton passes back out to the point guard. Ike sets another screen. This time Nembhard dribbles to his right. Pulls up, shoots a 3. It's off the mark. Rebound is grabbed by Timberlake, who flies in late to secure it for Kansas. Timberlake gives it up to Harris. He'll walk from the left side of the floor to the right. One out top now. Gives it up to Furphy. Looking over the top, and it's a little bit too hot. Dickinson can't handle the pass. He's saying that Ben Gregg held him. But the official says Gonzaga basketball.
Saw the first offensive possession. We put Dickerson in multiple ball screens. I imagine that's part of the game plan, is get him out away from the basket defensively.
Watson underhand flip to Hickman, dribbles to the top of the key, now to the far side of the floor in front of the Kansas bench. Gets a screen from Ike, picks up the dribble, finds Graham down low, spins, shoots, no good. Watson flies in and tips it in. The Bulldogs have the first basket of the afternoon.
Great weak side rebound from Watson as the help. His guy goes to help.
Dickinson bounces to Harris, pull up on the baseline, no good. Gregg up high to rip down the rebound. Anton Watson looks like he got hit in the nose. Seems to be okay as he trails the play now. Nembhard picks up his dribble, left elbow, bounces it into the hands of Ike. Over Dickinson, it's good. Gonzaga with an early 4-0 lead.
Deep post touch, that's going to be the key for Graham to be successful. Caught that about 8 feet.
Harris walks it across half court where he's met by Watson. Screen from Adams, dribbles to his left, bounce back to Adams. Power dribble, kicks right side Furphy. He lets the 3 fly from in front of the GU bench, won't go down. Watson clears the glass for the Bulldogs. Quickly to Nembhard, up the right side into the front court. Bulldogs lead 4-0 as Nembhard is slowed down by Timberlake. Screen from Ike, picks up his dribble, gives it up to Watson, to the free throw line with the dribble. Pull up one-hander, all net. Gonzaga 6, Kansas nothing. Timeout, Jayhawks. 2 minutes and 6 seconds in. What a start for the Zags, who missed their first, but have come back to score 6 points and force Kansas to take an early timeout. We're going to take this timeout with the Zags as well. 6-0, Gonzaga on top. You're listening to Gonzaga Bulldog basketball from Learfield.
Want to earn some extra money this winter? Spokane International Airport is hiring multiple seasonal snow removal equipment operators. These are on-call positions for the upcoming winter season from November 2023 to March 2024. You can earn up to $36 an hour. Some positions require a CDL, and previous experience in operating snow removal equipment is highly preferred. Join our team today. Learn more and apply by visiting SpokaneSnow.com.
We care about your safety. If you need to break ground on a new outdoor project, be aware that buried electric and natural gas lines can be anywhere. It's the law to call 811 at least 2 business days before you dig. Spray paint white lines showing your dig zone, and a crew will mark the utility lines. Mark accuracy zone is within 2 feet of the mark, so always hand dig to expose the line first. Call 811 before you dig. The service is free for residential customers. Avista, we just want you to be safe.
Gonzaga with an early 6-0 lead over Kansas. Jayhawks call a timeout just 2 minutes and 6 seconds in. Well, this broadcast of the NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Championship is authorized under broadcast rights granted by the NCAA through Westwood One. It is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the NCAA and Westwood One is strictly prohibited. So, Mo, Bulldogs jumped out to an early lead. Safe to say, have to feel pretty good about this start for the Zags.
Yeah, +3 on the glass as well. 4-1. That's obviously very early in the game. We start 3 of 5. Like I said, they put Dickerson in ball screen coverages, and then to start the game, they had that slide over help on the pocket pass that Graham received, but then Anton's guy went over, and that allowed him to get that tip in. And then Graham, for the second bucket, got that deep post touch. Now, again, he's got to be able to get those all game long to be successful. Kind of a weird crowd in here right now, a little bit dead. I know it's early in the game, but there's not as much fervor as there was for the last game we saw. But that was a Dayton Flyers. They travel pretty good.
Yeah,
I've learned
they
that.
do. And the other thing is, right, Mo, so the Gonzaga fans are sitting in here and they're cheering, right? The Kansas fans are sitting in here and they're cheering. And now a lot of their fans aren't here to watch this one.
No.
But you're right, it does have a pretty quiet feeling at this point. Zags show a little pressure. Here's a long pass up the right side to Adams. Now back out to Harris. Picks up his dribble, left side pass to Furphy. Looking down low where he finds Dickinson. Backing down Ike. Here comes Hickman on the double. Kick out to Furphy. 3 on the way and good. The Jayhawks have their first bucket of the game. Zags quickly the other way. It's Watson trying to get around Furphy. Denied on the drive on the near baseline. Retreats with the dribble. Brings it out top. Passes to Hickman. Hickman turns the corner. Sees some daylight. Leaves it for Ike, who lays it off the glass and in. Beautiful play by Hickman.
Yeah, way to get into the seam of the defense and then be unselfish. Get your big man rewarded. Great play.
Ike has 4. Watson with 4 for the Bulldogs. Timberlake on the baseline to Adams. Kicks it out. Furphy fakes the 3. Drives. Challenges. Shot is good and a foul. Ike and Gregg were there.
Let's see who that goes against.
And it's Ben Gregg, his first.
Furphy's a good-looking player, Huddy. 6'9", long. Just knocked down a 3, then had a great dribble take after against a closeout and then finished between hands. Contact there. Going to be an NBA player eventually. Probably not this year, but probably next.
Freshman out of Australia. 76% at the line. Makes that one to cut it to 8-6 Bulldogs. Nemhart brings ball up to the floor for Gonzaga. Harris picks him up defensively as he brings it into the offensive end. Screen from Ike, underhanded pass over to Hickman. In the corner, it's Watson. Thought about a dribble drive on Adams, but denied. Lobs it down low for Ike. Backing down Dickinson. Little shake and bake. He's going to be called for a travel.
Yeah, he's got to go quick. He's got to make one move and then go to the counter or kick it back out. Good call by the officials. Easy one.
Zags turn it over. They lead 8-6. 3 minutes and change gone by here in Salt Lake City. Adams out top to Timberlake. Right back to Adams, the top of the key. Goes to work on Hickman. Nolan slips and falls. The official says Nolan was last to touch. Yeah, I thought that might have been a charge, too. I was trying to be kind to the officials, Mo, but
just lowered his shoulder. Adams, not really known as a jump shooter. They try to get him on the pinch post area about 15 feet on the elbow and let him go to work. I thought that was a charge.
Harris looks to inbound, lobs it in. Adams catches, misses. Rebound, put back good, and we're tied at 8. 16:30 to play first half. Kansas settling down after the Bulldogs took an early 6-0 lead. Here's Hickman on the drive. Pass right corner is stolen by Harris. He's a good defensive player. Defensive player of the year in the Big 12. Comes away with a steal. Kansas with a chance to take its first lead of the game. Harris drives, tries to bounce it. And the official's going to call a kick on Ben Gregg. Shot clock's going to stay at 21 seconds. Kansas will inbound. 8-8 our score. Harris passes in to Dickinson. Kicks it over to Timberlake. He catches and shoots. The three is all net.
That's what he does. Three-point shooter. Got to run him off the line if you're Nolan Hickman.
Zags led 6-0. It's an 11-2 run for Kansas to take the lead. Nembhard driving alley-oop. Watson reverse flush. And the Bulldogs cut the lead to 1.
Great baseline cut right there and a perfect pass. But lob reverse dunk. Man, Anton Watson.
Harris on the drive, cut off, bounces it out to Timberlake. Looked like maybe he gets away with a travel as he had a running start on that thing and lays it in 13-10. He's got 5 points. Nembhard drives, gives it up to Hickman. Now to Watson trailing. Dribbling out top with it. Senior passes back over to Nembhard, sets a screen for Ryan. Can't get it to Ike. Instead to Watson. Wants to back down Adams. Plenty of time, 14 seconds on the clock. Gets into the paint. And a foul is going to be called, I believe, on the ground on Adams.
Should be a foul. It's 2 hands in the back.
Well, Adams whistled for his first personal, and we have a timeout in Salt Lake City. 13-10, Kansas on top. 15:15 to play first half. We're back after this. You're listening to Gonzaga Bulldog basketball from Learfield.
Support Gonzaga men's basketball through NIL. Zags Collective is the leading NIL collective supporting Zags student athletes through name, image, and likeness. Zags Collective creates opportunities for student athletes to engage with the community and grow their brand. Plus, you get access to autograph sessions, exclusive events, and more. Become a member today. Go to zagscollective.com and get started.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Not to brag, but Progressive's Name Your Price tool is mankind's greatest tool ever. Even better than the wheel. Sure, without the wheel, we wouldn't have modern transportation or funny videos of dogs riding skateboards. But without the Name Your Price tool, we wouldn't have easy access to auto insurance options based on our budget. And while cars do need wheels, they also need insurance. And insurance never goes flat. Learn more about the greatest tool ever. The Name Your Price tool at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
We're back at the Delta Center in Salt Lake City, Utah. Tom Hudson, Adam Morrison with you here for the second round NCAA tournament game. Zags jumped out to a 6-0 start. Kansas currently on a 13-4 run, leads 13-10 with 15:15 to play in our first half. Mo, both teams shooting the ball really well in these first nearly 5 minutes of play.
Yeah, Gonzaga 5 of 7. Kansas 5 of 9. So, but 2 of 3 from downtown. We're 0 for 1 downtown. Two highly skilled teams. It's going to be a fun game to watch. Obviously, we can't allow them to extend the lead. We got to run Timberlake off the line, and I say that, and he made a curl, floater last play, but he can't. The first one he made from 3, he can't get a stare down type of deal. And then Furphy got his off of a double team on the strong side, which I I'm going to keep complaining about it until somebody changes. I don't know why you double from the strong side and go full rotation. That's here nor there. We got to run those guys off the line and keep trying to establish Graham inside. He had a good start. Throw to him early and often.
Gonzaga will inbounds. The officials pulling Graham Ike and Hunter Dickinson together here to have a conversation.
Be nice to each other, guys.
Yeah, right.
It's just a game.
Nemhart's going to inbound on the baseline underneath the basket. Gets it into Hickman coming off an Ike screen. Nolan dribbles away from the pressure of Timberlake. Bounces to Ike. Spins and shoots. Comes up a little bit short. Rebound goes to Adams. Short arm that one a little bit. Comes up short. Jayhawks bringing it into the front court with Harris. Gives it away to Timberlake. Right back to the point guard. Harris dribbles to his right. Pass back left and Timberlake. Looking to Dickinson. Throw over the top. Catches. Double team comes. Spins to the baseline and scores with that left hand. 15-10. Kansas on top. Hickman to Gregg trailing. Defended by Furphy out there. Back to Hickman. Nolan to the right elbow. Can't get up a shot. Kicks it back out to Nemhart. Ike screen. Nemhart dribbles to his right. Passes to Watson. Open at the three-point line. Anton lets it fly. It's off the mark. Ike tips it. Wouldn't go in. Graham regains control. Scores it over Dickinson. And the Bulldogs got the lead to 3.
Great hustle and extra effort from Graham right there to get that rebound. You can see Dickinson, I know it's early in the game, but he doesn't even want to foul now. You got to let him lay that up. Didn't even challenge the shot.
Harris into the front court with it. Defended by Ike. Gives it up to Dickinson out top. Now for Timberlake. Timberlake jumps in the air, throws a dangerous pass. Hickman tries to steal it away from Dickinson, but he's able to control it. Pass in the corner to Harris. He shoots a 3 and makes it. Talked about it. Harris doesn't shoot a lot of them. Not known as a shooter, but doesn't mean he can't make them. And he does. It's a 6-point Kansas lead. Watson hands off. 3-point line to Gregg. Turns the corner with the left hand. Driving on Furphy. Scores and he's fouled. Gregg finishes through contact and will head to the free throw line.
A great dribble handoff action with Ben Gregg, and he turns the corner, not known as a driver, but that was a great finish through contact. Much needed bucket for Gonzaga.
Substitutions coming. We're going to see Parker Brown, the former Santa Clara Bronco. He started his career as a walk-on at Missouri. His brother played at Kansas. So he went from Missouri to Santa Clara, now playing for the Jayhawks. 6'10", 235-pounder, averages about 2 points a game. So they check him in, and that allows Coach Few to put Braden Huff in and give Graham Ike a breather. The officials gave Ben Gregg the ball, and now there was a little bit of confusion whether it was one shot or two, so they've cleared that up for themselves. Ben's ready to shoot his single free throw. It's on the way and rims out. Score remains 18-14. Harris, long pass up the floor. Adams with the alley-oop dunk.
It's inexcusable. That's off a free throw.
Watson sets a screen for Nemhart, who dribbles to his right. Pass over the top. Huff catches, dribbles, and is fouled as he goes up for the shot. Well, I think that was Harris who flew in there on that double team trying to take the ball away.
Yeah.
He's running 100 miles an hour.
Going back to the previous play, though, Huddy, that's a free throw, and they get a lob dunk. Coach Few extremely upset with Ben Gregg because that was his guy, but also I'm wondering who's running back row as well. It was just such a weird play, but Braid makes the first. But how about the dunk by Adams on just the elevations? This guy in football pads, man, and I mean that in the nicest way. It's an extreme athlete.
Huff makes them both. His first points of the game cut it to a 20-16 Kansas advantage. Harris into the front court with the dribble, far side of the floor. Looking to Brown, gives it up to him. And quickly for Furphy now. Furphy driving with left hand, gets all the way to the rim, had it blocked, gets it back. He's in the near corner with 12 seconds to shoot. Hands it off to Adams. Back out to Harris. Harris, then hounded by Gregg, gets it in the paint to Adams. Adams' little one-hander is good. Adams was just camped out there. The top of the key gets the bucket, 22-16. Nemhart drives, ticks out to Gregg. And they're going to call a jump ball.
Got rid of it.
Yeah, he passed it. We don't know where, that comes
call.
into play.
I think maybe he wanted to call travel and then realized it wasn't. That was weird.
Inbound, Nemhard, as the Bulldogs have it on alternating possessions, gets it into Hickman. A little one-hander on the baseline is good. Tough finish. Cuts it to 22-18.
Yeah, great baseline out of bounds execution right there. Screen the screener, America's play.
Harris walks it across the timeline, met by Watson. It's a screen from Adams, bounce back to Adams on the pick and roll, challenged by Huff. The shot is off the mark. Greg rebounds. Hickman heads the other way. 3-on-3. Dribbles to the left side of the floor. Is going to slow things down. Zags trail 22-18. 12.5 to play first half. Here's a bounce to Huff. Going to work on Brown. Two-arm push. Braden backing down with the right-handed dribble. Spins, gets him a little right-handed shot. Rattles around, wouldn't stay down. Ball is tipped into the hands of Furphy. 22-18. Ball is out of bounds. Last touched by Harris. Boy, he just ran into one of the Zags players. Looked like somebody's trying to set a screen and just lost the handle.
Yeah, Nemhard read where he was going behind the back and just stood there. Good no call by the officials. I mean, honestly, players didn't argue for Kansas as well. I think it was a good no call.
Lead still 4 for Kansas. 12 minutes to play first half. Nemhard into the front court with the dribble. Picks it up. Passes over to Hickman. Dribbles away from the pressure of Harris. It's a screen from Huff. Picks up the dribble. Skips it back right side. Timberlake pokes into the backcourt. Nemhard chases it down. Bulldogs have 8 seconds on the shot clock. Nemhard quickly back into the front court with it to the three-point line. Looks down low. Tried to fire a pass to Watson, and it was intercepted by Adams. Adams brings the Jayhawks the other way. Pass right side. Timberlake with a 3. That won't go down. Rebound is chased down by Furphy. He goes down low. Adams has it stripped away by Watson. Anton blocks that shot and telling his teammates, hey, come on, we've given up some lapses, gave up an easy offensive rebound that the Zags should have secured.
Normally Ben Gregg, one of our best rebounders, had 2 bonehead plays. That one was just a simple box out on Furphy. He had the play earlier with Adams where he didn't get back. He's got to get his head in the game a little bit.
22-18, Kansas on top, 11:27 to play in the first half. We're back in Salt Lake City after this. You're listening to Gonzaga Bulldog basketball from Learfield.
Some banks receive 5-star ratings and think they've arrived. But at Wheatland Bank, we call that just getting started. Now, as a member of the Glacier family of regional banks, we're doing even more of what made us an industry leader. Anticipating Eastern Washington's growing needs with more expertise, more technology, more resources, well, more everything. The new, even better Wheatland Bank. What more do you need? Seriously, we're asking.
Wheatland Bank, a division of Glacier Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Did you know that breast cancer deaths have declined by more than 37% since the introduction of annual screening mammography in the 90s? The data doesn't lie. Early detection saves lives. If you're 40 or older, call Inland Imaging at 509-455-4455 or go to inlandimaging.com/schedule to schedule your annual mammogram. Ask us about evening and weekend appointments. Inland Imaging, for answers you can trust and care you can count on.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup for the 2023-24 college athletics season? You can follow the standings of your favorite school or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. That's thedirectorscup.com and L Directors Cup on Twitter. Trophies will be awarded in June 2024 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
We're back in Salt Lake City. Tom Hudson alongside Adam Morrison here courtside at the Delta Center. The Bulldogs scored the first 6 points of the game, but they trail 22-18 with 11:27 to play in the first half. Well, visit Spokane, home of the Gonzaga Bulldogs. This busy city along the roaring Spokane River Gorge has it all: culinary, beer, wine, entertainment, and outdoor adventure. Whether you already live in the area or you're looking for a vacation, start planning adventures now. Go to visitspokane.com. Live like a Zag. Bulldogs still shooting it pretty well, Mo. Haven't made a 3 yet, but the percentages are good. The rebounding thing kind of flipped from the start of the game, and we've seen that work in favor of Kansas.
Yeah, -2 on the glass, but like you mentioned, shooting the ball well, 8 of 13. Kansas on the other side, 9 of 17, but you mentioned no threes. They're 3 of 5. Kansas is from downtown, so that's kind of the difference in the game. We look pretty good offensively. I mean, pace is good. We're getting good shots.
Kansas is a team 32.9% shooting threes. We started 3 of 5. Dickinson back in. Dusty Stromer's checked in for the first time. They lob that into Adams again. Throws a wild one off the glass. Ball tipped back into the hands of Harris. Scramble play. Dickinson gets up the jumper. Lefty from the free throw misses. Furphy grabs another offensive rebound. Bulldogs in scramble mode here. Dickinson defended down low, calling for it. Harris gets it to him. Dickinson kicks back out. Harris gets a screen into the paint. A little 12-footer with one hand, no good. Watson has the rebound. Bulldogs deny Kansas. Nembhard driving with the left, pulls up, shoots a jumper, comes up short. Dickinson comes away with the rebound. He'll hand it off to Harris, gives it up to Adams, drives on Watson. Anton goes down. It's an offensive foul. Adams picks up the personal. And that will be, I believe, his first.
Easy call by the officials. Great job by Anton of basically just waiting for him to make that move. That's a big play in this game. I know it's always first, but Adams goes out. He's obviously been a force on the glass so far, so hopefully he can stay on the bench.
Elmarco Jackson, 6'5", 195-pound at McDonald's All-American, checks in. He averages 4 a game, taking over for Adams. Nembhard gives it up to Huff. He's wide open at the three-point line. Lets it go. It's off the mark. Timberlake rebounds. Brings it up the floor himself. Slowed down by Watson. Looking down low for Dickinson. Can't get it there to Furphy instead of the sideline. Now Dickinson has it. Spins into the paint. Up, under. Stromer comes over on the help. Got a piece of it and knocked it away. Air ball from Dickinson as he had to flail and kind of throw that thing in late. Bulldogs still trail by 4 as Nembhard dribbles on the right perimeter. To Huff out top, no look in the left corner to Stromer. Fakes the 3, kicks it back out to Hickman. Screen from Huff. Hickman turns the corner, gets all the way to the rim, has it blocked from behind. Watson, put back attempt, no good. Huff has it, is stripped away by, look like Jackson, and they're going to give the Bulldogs the ball. It kind of feels like maybe there were a couple of fouls that they missed.
Well, Watson gets a point blanker. Yeah. He's got a power dribble and get that up on power layup, I should say. Go up, slap the backboard and put that in. 5 seconds on the shot clock.
Nembhard trying to bounce it in, and I believe that's a kick, and so they're going to reset. Bulldogs get a break there. Harris kicked the inbound. 22-18. A little scoring drought for these two teams. Neither scored for nearly 3 minutes. That 3 is good from Huff, and that'll change that. Graydon hits one from the left sideline. It cuts the Jayhawk lead to 1. Jackson gives it up to Dickinson. Fires a pass to Timberlake. He'll catch and shoot. That 3 won't go down. Rebound at the free throw line goes to Hickman. Coach Few says run, 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 and Nolan Hickman will. Into the front court on Jackson. Spins. Kicks it out to Nembhard. Ryan defended by the big man Dickinson at the three-point line. Picks up his dribble. Passes over to Hickman. They've got the mismatch. Get it to Huff. He's defended by Harris. Kick back out to Hickman. 10 seconds to shoot. Repost. Back to Huff. Trying to get to the baseline. Denied. Kick out for Nembhard. Gets around Dickinson. The one-hander won't go down too strong. Timberlake comes away with the rebound. It's into the front court. Driving. Leans in. Shot blocked. Bulldogs come away with it. Nembhard on the run. Bounces it for Watson, who drives, goes up for the dunk. Dickinson got a piece of it. Kansas had it briefly. Watson stripped it away. Hickman with the loose ball. That one rims out, and it's still a 22-21 game. Harris the other way. Slowed down by Stromer. Here's Dickinson driving and scoring on Huff. 24-21. Zags had a couple of chances to take the lead, but were denied. Nembhard picks up his dribble, pass left sideline. It's Hickman, catches and shoots. The 3 is all net, and the Bulldogs have tied it at 24.
Good skip pass and recognition from Nembhard. There was a tag on the roll from the weak side. That's the pass you've got to give up, and he finds his shooter in the corner.
Bulldogs have made 2 3-pointers now. Harris in the front court, gives it up to Jackson. He holds 25 feet from the basket. Dribbling with the left hand now, trying to penetrate. Goes behind the back, pulls up from 10, way off the mark. Stromer knocks the ball away from Nembhard. 2 Zags there, neither one can secure the rebound. 24-24, 8:06 to play in our game's first half. Substitutions coming for both teams. Furphy, Dickinson, and Timberlake check out. Adams is back in. We'll see Jamari McDowell, who averages 2 points a game for the first time. Parker Brown also returns to action. Harris can inbound to the baseline, near side of the floor here. Lob in for Brown, catches it at the top of the key, gives it up to Adams. Adams to Harris coming off a screen. Harris has it knocked away, a whistle and a foul. Jayhawks trying to say he was in active shooting, but he was trying to throw a pass. And it will be Kansas ball when we come back from this timeout. Exactly 8 minutes to play in our first half. And we've got this timeout coming up as the officials continue to talk to Graham Ike. We're back right after this. You're listening to Gonzaga Bulldog basketball from Learfield.
BECU. You've heard the name, seen the letters. But what does BECU stand for? Simply put, not-for-profit BECU stands for people. For charting your own path. For choosing what's right for members instead of what's profitable for someone else. Because they are the reason our credit union exists. So we do everything in our power to help them reach their financial goals. BECU. Power in people. All Pacific Northwest residents are eligible to join. Federally insured by NCAA.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Papa Murphy's $9.99 extra large New York style pizza
is a big deal.
So we're going big to tell everyone about it. How big? We're talking action movie big. Carving $9.99 XLNY into a mountainside big. And shouting it from the literal mountaintops big. Because the XLNY is everything you can expect from a classic New York style pizza, hot and fresh out of your oven for just $9.99. Order the XLNY pizza at papamurphys.com.
Fifth-seeded Zags, the four-seeded Kansas Jayhawks tied at 24 with 8 minutes to play in our first half. We've had one lead change and two ties. Zags scored the first 6 points of the game. Kansas came back and took the lead. Zags tying it at 24. Let's take 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Gonzaga Bulldog basketball from Learfield. Back in Salt Lake City, Mo, we've got the stats in our hands, and I think when you look at the numbers overall, they're not too bad for the Bulldogs. Just want to see a little more secure rebound, maybe keep a guy in front of you. There's just been a couple of small things, and the numbers are pretty good, but I think if you're coach, if you have to feel okay, if you can clean up a little bit of this stuff, you've played pretty well to this point.
Yeah, I mean, 10 of 21, they're 10 of 25, so obviously even on the field goals. 2 of 5 for us from 3, they're 3 of 6, so +1, but the biggest number that's glaring, -3 on the glass was not terrible, but 7 offensive rebounds for Kansas. I think exactly what you're talking about. Missed blocks out. We had that one just recently with Ryan and Dusty both had it, and knocked it out and gives them another possession. So we got to do the little things in a game of this importance.
Kansas has made just 1 of its last 8 shots. The Bulldogs have gone 2 of their last 8. Harris looks to inbound, lobs it in to Brown at the right elbow. Hands it back to Harris. Can't get up a shot. Now looks to Adams, who hands it back to Harris. He pushes one from 12, rattles around and goes. Jayhawks go back ahead by 2. Awkward looking shot there.
Yeah, shot put.
It makes it. It's 2-point lead. Nemard to the right, passes back left. Greg is open at the 3-point line for the lead. It's all net, and Gonzaga goes back on top. It's 27-26.
Roll and replace action. Simple basketball, wide open shot.
Second lead change of the afternoon. McDowell dribbles from his left to his right. Gets a screen from Brown. Passes to Jackson, 3-point line left side. Defended by Stromer, dribbling into the paint. Picks it up, needs some help. Bounces to Braun, poked away by Huff. He's in for Ike. Harris again. Dribbling to his right, pass down low. Throws it 1,000 miles an hour. Almost took out a photographer under the basket. Brown was not looking for the pass. Turnover on Kansas. And the Bulldogs will look to build on a 27-26 lead. Harris is going to apply a little single pressure to Nembhard as he brings the ball up the floor. Now he retreats as Ryan gets to the timeline. Waits for a screen, gets it from Huff, dribbles to his right, now looks down low, beautiful look. Huff lays it off the glass and in. Nembhard is keeping his teammates involved. The Bulldogs lead 29-26.
Ran the same action and they got miscued on the switch because they got buried with a 3 last time, so good job by Huey to call that again.
Adams gives it up to Harris. Zags wanted a travel call, should have gotten it. Harris bounces it left side, knocked away from behind by Gregg, and then a foul's going to go against Adams, his second. Then Gregg knocked down a 3 and then makes a play there. There's that spark we're looking for from the junior big man. Well, Adams picks up his second.
That's a big call. Obviously, we've talked about the importance of Adams on the glass and just kind of their overall toughness. Picks up his second foul. They're not a deep team in this Kansas, and especially in the front line. Be interesting to see how he plays defensively the rest of this half.
He'll stay in there for now. Nembhard dribbles to the right side of the floor. Dickinson back in. Here's a bounce. He was looking for Huff and rolled it out of bounds. The official's going to say Kansas touched it. Gonzaga gets a break there.
Timberlake pass. He's played solid all day so far from the floor. Nembhard has. He's got to be able to come to a jump stop and bring that one back and move it along.
He already has 7 assists on 12 Gonzaga makes. Like to have that one back. Inbound to Hickman, brings it out between a circle, screen from Gregg, dribbles to the right wing, picks it up. Nothing there with Ben, now trying to get it to him. Ben catches, going to work on Adams, spins to his right, forces a one-hander and somehow gets it to go. Boy, Ben Gregg, we don't see him go to the post up much, but he gives the Bulldogs a 5-point lead.
Yeah, beautiful bucket right there. Gonzaga fans getting into it a little bit.
Harris just inside a half court. Nembhard applies some defensive pressure. Pass over to Furphy. Back to Harris between the circles. Screen from Adams. He drives. The runner is up. No good. Rebound goes to who else but Ben Gregg. Gets it away to Nembhard. Ryan's into the front court. Head of steam. Gets around Dickinson. Passes in the far corner. 3 on the way. Stromer won't go down. Gregg tries to tip it. It took an extra hop off the rim and he couldn't quite get it. Timberlake in the front court to Harris on the left side. Pass to Dickinson trailing. Couple of dribbles. Bounce it for Timberlake. Cutting baseline. He misses the shot and a late whistle from the official standing right in front of us. I think he's got to blow that when the foul occurs, Mo. A little bit late on that one, but we're going to get a couple of free throws for the Jayhawks. Gonzaga has scored 7 consecutive points to take this 31-26 lead. 5.5 to play in the first half. Timberlake to the line. Transfer from Towson comes up short on his first attempt. First into the starting rotation with Kevin McCullers out for the season with a knee injury. Second free throw is good, 1 out of 2. Gonzaga with 5.5 to play in the first half leads 31-27. Nembhard across the timeline with it to the right side. Picks it up at the three-point line. Out top for Gregg. Fakes the 3. Pass back out to Nembhard. Nembhard trying to get around Adams. He's denied to Gregg. Again, top of the key. Looks down low. Huff is there for the two-handed flush. Timeout, Kansas, for the second time in the first half.
Beautiful top-down look. Ben Gregg's knocked down a 3, and then they got a roll, replace. That time, miscommunication from Kansas. Great find. Ben Gregg to his partner, Braden Huff, inside. Gonzaga playing good basketball.
Gonzaga with a 6-point lead, ties its biggest lead of the game. The Bulldogs scored the first 3 baskets for a 6-0 lead. Kansas has also led by as many as 6. Well, Ben Gregg, a little sluggish to start this game, but boy, Mo, has he picked it up.
That was a beautiful find. They're running just a simple roll, replace. You know, one big starts at the opposite block, roll, and then the other guy, the shooter, comes up. So then you've got to ask yourself if you're going to tag or stay with, and then that time they didn't stay with, and then the previous time they got miscommunication on the switch. So good job by Huey, just running simple action with the 2 bigs, with Dickinson and Adams not communicating for Kansas, allowing Gonzaga to get wide open 3s, and obviously that last dunk.
Gonzaga's made 5 of his last 6 field goal attempts to take this 33-27 lead. Timberlake into the front court, hands it off to Harris. Dribbles to his right off a Dickinson screen. Pass back intended for Timberlake almost. Nembhard cut through the passing lane and denied the pass. Jayhawks a little shaky on this possession. Adams has it, far side, hands it off to Dickinson, gives it away to Harris on the right wing, skips it back left side. Timberlake shoots a three. It's off the mark. Ben Gregg is pushed in the back by Adams, who saves it, goes out of bounds. Ball tipped into the backcourt. Nope, it's going to stay in the front court as Furphy is able to control it. Harris out to Dickinson. He'll shoot a three from straight away. It's all net.
Broken play. We got to rebound the basketball. Man.
Couple opportunities there. Hickman between the circles. Bulldogs lead 33-30. Dickinson will shoot that three. That's not a fluke. He's about 31% on the year. Here's Huff. He can shoot it two to answer. Rims out. Timberlake rebounds. Here comes Kansas the other way. Dickinson pushing his way down the floor, calling for it. Spins to his right, misses, but a whistle and a foul. And Braden Huff picks up the personal. Dickinson suffered a dislocated shoulder late in the Big 12 season. Ouch. Able to come back and play in the game against Samford that they won 93-89. 19 points, 20 rebounds.
Did they sit him in the Big 12 tournament?
They did.
Yeah, smart. Probably knew they were going to get 3, 4, 5 seed anyway.
Dickinson goes 1 out of 2. Gregg has the rebound. 33-31 Zags. Graham Ike sits on the bench with 2 personal fouls. Here's Gregg with it to Watson between the circles. Dribbling to his left, hands it back to Nembhard. Screen from Huff. Turns the corner, throws up another alley-oop for Watson. Catches, gathers, and scores. Bulldogs make it 35-31 on the Anton Watson finish with 3:42 to play in the first half. Dickinson hands it off to Jackson. Back to Dickinson. Drives, hop step, off the glass and in. Too easy for the Jayhawks. 35-33. Hickman, right side, defended by Jackson. Gives it up to Watson between the circles. Quick pass to Nembhard. Dribbling out top with it. Pass over to Gregg. Watson calling for it. They get it to him on the mismatch with Timberlake. Fires a pass out to Nembhard. Driving with the left hand. Gets around Furphy. Packs back out to Huff. Fakes the pass. Thought about a three. They leave him wide open. Finally, he shoots it and misses it. He's a little bit off balance. He's left wide open and couldn't convert. Bulldogs lead 35-33. 3 minutes to play first half. Harris in front of the GU bench with a dribble. To the baseline with the drive. Kicks it back out to Timberlake at the three-point line. To Jackson. Jackson driving on Gregg. Gets under the basket. Can't get up a shot. Knocked away from behind by Ben. Stolen by Hickman, who had it knocked away. Bodies flying everywhere. Here's Timberlake. Gives it up to Dickinson at the free throw line. Bounces to Harris, who's going to lay it in.
Broken play. Wow.
We're tied at 35. Huff out top. Right side pass to Nembhard. Back to Huff. Left side Hickman. Hickman turns the corner, gets all the way to the rim, flips it up and in. Zags go back on top. Nifty finish by Nolan.
Yeah, way to turn the corner, get to his right hand. Recognized Dickinson was going for the block shot, kind of used his shoulder to shield that. Great finish.
Harris just inside a half court with it. Screen from Dickinson at the top of the key. Gives it up to Jackson. Now back to Dickinson out top. Bounces it left side, Harris. Harris dribbling three-point line. Bulldogs leave him open. He shoots the three and makes them pay. Jayhawks go back ahead by 1.
That's the scouting report, though. I don't mind him taking that shot. Obviously, he's a good player. He's looking for pocket passes, so you sag off. That's what you're going to give up.
Hickman holds 35 feet from the basket now. Dribbles off of a Braden Huff screen to his right. Pulls up, shoots a three, rattles it home, and just like that, the Bulldogs go back on top. It's a long two, a 2-point shot for Hickman. Still, Gonzaga takes the lead at 39-38. Dickinson hands it off. Harris drives, jumps, kicks to Furphy for 3. It's all net. Boy, both teams started out pretty hot, went ice cold, and they've heated up again. 41-39 Jayhawks.
Yeah, these are actually contested jumpers on both sides. Just high-level kids making shots.
Nembhard gets a screen from Huff. Picks up the dribble, finds Braden wide open under the basket for the easy right-handed lay-in. We're tied at 41. Under a minute to play first half. Nembhard already has 9 assists in the game. Hunter Dixon almost called a timeout. Luckily, Bill Self screamed if you're a Kansas fan. That would have been the third one used. Harris out to Dickinson. He'll shoot another three. And make it 44-41. 30 seconds to play first half. Dickinson has 13 points. Nemhard walks across half court. Shot clock is off. Zags will hold for the final shot of this half. Nemhard with 10, now going to initiate the offense. It's a screen from Huff out top, right side. Pulls up, shoots a three, comes up short. Gregg has the rebound, leans in, put back is good, and a foul on Dickinson. What a play by Ben Gregg with 1.2 seconds to play in the first half.
Excellent hustle on the backside. Fighting for that rebound, and then goes up and powers through contact. Ben Gregg having a great first half. Much needed for Gonzaga. Chance to tie the game going into halftime.
Well, Bill Self is talking to the official right now. I don't know what the complaint is.
Did we take the use it or lose it timeout?
Well, we might have taken the timeout there. 1.2 seconds to play in the half. Ben Gregg's going to step to the free throw line. Boy, after a slow start for Ben, he has really been a force. It's 4 out of 4 from the field. He's got 8 points, make that 9 points. And this timeout, we didn't have our official timeout at the 4-minute mark. It's coming right now with 1.2 seconds left in the half. We're back right after this. You're listening to Gonzaga Bulldog basketball from Learfield.
Support Gonzaga men's basketball through NIL. Zags Collective is the leading NIL collective supporting Zags student athletes through name, image, and likeness. Zags Collective creates opportunities for student athletes to engage with the community and grow their brand. Plus, you get access to autograph sessions, exclusive events, and more. Become a member today. Go to zagscollective.com and get started.
Want to earn some extra money this winter? Spokane International Airport is hiring multiple seasonal snow removal equipment operators. These are on-call positions for the upcoming winter season from November 2023 to March 2024. You can earn up to $36 an hour. Some positions require a CDL, and previous experience in operating snow removal equipment is highly preferred. Join our team today. Learn more and apply by visiting SpokaneSnow.com.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Kansas leads an entertaining ball game in Salt Lake City, 44-43 over the Zags with 1.2 seconds left in the first half. Ben Gregg is headed to the free throw after Hunter Dickinson committed his second personal foul. So both Dickinson and Adams have been whistled for 2 here in the first half. The American Credit Union money answer for people know Gonzaga does in fact exist. Plus, show your Bulldog pride with your Zags debit card offer only at America, federally insured by NCAA. Mo, we look at the stats. Zags have hit 4 or 5 shots, but Kansas hit its last 6 in what has been an entertaining game now. 5 lead changes, 4 ties.
Yeah, both teams making highly contested jumpers. It's been a skilled basketball game, fun one.
Ben Gregg's going to step to the free throw line for the Bulldogs. Gregg's made all 4 of his shots, 9 points, 5 rebounds, an assist, a steal, and a blocked shot. Free throw for Ben won't go down. Kansas rebounds and will take a 1-point lead into the locker room. 44-43 is our score. Kansas on top. Both teams led by as many as 6 in the first 20 minutes of action. We've got our halftime show coming your way right after this timeout. You're listening to Gonzaga Bulldog basketball from Learfield.
When you play the lottery, you are supporting education across Washington, preschool and post-high school. You're providing opportunities to the leaders of tomorrow and a chance at higher learning for those wanting more. You're supporting ABCs and PhDs. priming the next finger paint proteges, and providing tuition for undergrad overachievers. We know today's spelling bee superstars and soon-to-be CEOs appreciate you, and we do too. Thanks for playing. When you play, all of Washington wins. Must be 18 or older to purchase.
Papa Murphy's $9.99 extra large New York style pizza
is a big deal.
So we're going big to tell everyone about it. How big? We're talking action movie big. Carving $9.99 XLNY into a mountainside big. And shouting it from the literal mountaintops big. Because the XLNY is everything you can expect from a classic New York style pizza, hot and fresh out of your oven for just $9.99. Order the XLNY pizza at papamurphys.com.
At Wheatland Bank, we're all about relationships, so we couldn't be more proud to announce the relationship of a lifetime. Wheatland Bank is now part of the Glacier family of regional banks. With Glacier at our side, we'll deliver exciting new products and the latest technologies. Still, we're keeping our name, like one of those power couples you read about in the magazines. But you know, still bankers. Wheatland Bank. Relationships you can count on.
Wheatland Bank, a division of Glacier Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
On the Gonzaga Sports Network from Learfield, welcome to the Numerica Credit Union Halftime Show. We'll bring you stats and analysis from the first 20 minutes, as well as a look at scores from around the nation. Now we head back inside the Learfield Network studios.
We're at the Delta Center in Salt Lake City, where the Zags trail Kansas by 44-43 at halftime. Mo, we expected it to be a highly competitive, entertaining game, and that's what we got in the first 20 minutes.
Really good basketball on both sides. Offensive-minded, decently officiated. It was good first half.
Bulldogs got out to the early lead in this one. Gonzaga scoring the first 3 field goals. Anton Watson helping the Bulldogs cap that early 6-0 run. Emhart is slowed down by Timberlake. Screen from Ike, picks up his dribble, gives it up to Watson to the free throw line with the dribble. Pull up one-hander, all net. Gonzaga 6, Kansas nothing. Timeout, Jayhawks. 2 minutes and 6 seconds in. Mo, great start for Gonzaga here today. Got rolling, making 3 of their first 5 shots.
Yeah, Anton with that hustle play as well, and he hit a nice floater to start the game. It's a good start for us.
So the Bulldogs would lead 6-0. Kansas would come back and kind of turn the tables on the Bulldogs. They would take a 6-point lead at 20-14. So Gonzaga outscored by 20-8 to see Kansas take the 20-14 advantage. But the Zags would get back on their feet. Ben Craig got off to a slow start, but he finished strong and gave the Bulldogs the lead once again. To the right, passes back left. Greg is open at the three-point line for the lead. It's all net, and Gonzaga goes back on top. It's 27-26.
Roll and replace action.
Great response, Mo, by the Bulldogs. You know, you get out to that great start, you're feeling good. All of a sudden, Kansas gets on its feet and starts knocking down shots. You fall behind by 6, but the Bulldogs, not deterred. They got back going and were able to come back and take the lead.
Yeah, we countered their little run, and they made a little run themselves. And like I said, that roll and replace action was really working for us. I'm glad Coach Few stuck with it and allowed us to get back in the game. Kansas was really perplexed by it.
The Bulldogs took that lead at 27-26. The lead would grow to 6 again as Greg found Braden Huff, who is in double figures in the first 20 minutes. Emhart trying to get around Adams. He's denied to Greg. Again, top of the key, looks down low. Huff is there for the two-handed flush. Timeout, Kansas, for the second time in the first half. Gonzaga, a run of its own, 19-7, Mo, to take that 33-27 lead, and then both teams found their offense down the stretch. They go a combined 10 of 11 to finish the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's fun basketball. I mean, there wasn't any strip wide opens. It was good, like swing, and guys closing out, and big-time players making shots. It was fun to call.
The Bulldogs trail Kansas by 1. It's 44-43, halftime in Salt Lake City. We're going to take a quick break here in Salt Lake. When we come back, Dave Pulaski standing by in our Learfield, North Carolina studios for their halftime show score update. Again, Kansas 44, Gonzaga 43, 5 lead changes, 4 ties in the first half. The Jayhawks have the lead in the locker room. Back right after this, you're listening to Gonzaga Bulldog basketball from Learfield.
College College sports fans now have access to hundreds of weekly podcasts that zero in on the college sports world. Now available in the Varsity Podcast Network and part of the new Varsity app. The app is free and available from wherever you get your favorite apps. Download the Varsity app today to have access to hundreds of national podcasts as well as your favorite team-focused podcasts. The Varsity Podcast Network, now available for free on the Varsity app. Download from the App Store and listen today.
Want to earn some extra money this winter? Spokane International Airport is hiring multiple seasonal snow removal equipment operators. These are on-call positions for the upcoming winter season from November 2023 to March 2024. You can earn up to $36 an hour. Some positions require a CDL, and previous experience in operating snow removal equipment is highly preferred. Join our team today. Learn more and apply by visiting SpokaneSnow.com.
When you play the lottery, you are supporting education across Washington, preschool and post-high school. You're providing opportunities to the leaders of tomorrow and a chance at higher learning for those wanting more. You're supporting ABCs and PhDs, priming the next finger paint proteges, and providing tuition for undergrad overachievers. We know today's spelling bee superstars and soon-to-be CEOs appreciate you, and we do too. Thanks for playing.
When you play, all of Washington wins. Must be 18 or older to purchase.
Time for a check of the scores around the WCC and around the nation. Let's go to the network studios.
Halftime continues from Salt Lake City, as right now number 5 seed Gonzaga trailing number 4 seed Kansas 44-43 at the break with a trip to the Sweet 16 on the line. Dave Pulaski back inside the Learfield Network studios. Let's get you up to date on the rest of the NCAA tournament action. One other game taking place today. It was earlier on that Delta Center floor. And in the second round of the NCAA tournament, number 2 seed Arizona squaring off against number 7 seed Dayton in the West region, with the winner advancing to Los Angeles and the Sweet 16. And Arizona trying to punch their ticket to the Sweet 16 for the second time in 3 years under Tommy Lloyd's watch as head coach.
Jaden drives out top around to Johnson's screen. Bradley Chase get it to Larson. Wide open three is up and good. Huge shot for Pella Larson. His second Lexus of Tucson Charity 3 of the day. 61-51 Arizona.
That's Brian Jeffries from Learfield as Arizona would notch a 78-68 win over the Dayton Flyers, ending their season at 25-8. A balanced attack for the Wildcats. They had 4 players in double figures, led by Caleb Love, the Pac-12 Player of the Year, who had 19 points along with 5 assists. Wildcats knocked down 8 of 18 from three-point range, not quite the amount that they had in their first-round win over Long Beach State on Thursday, in which they sank a program record for the NCAA tournament, 13 three-pointers in that contest, and now they are into the Sweet 16. They'll take on the winner of Baylor or Clemson next week in L.A. Getting you up to date on the other scheduled games for today at 2:30 from Charlotte at the Spectrum Center. It'll be a couple of Blue Bloods going head-to-head, number 1 seed North Carolina and number 9 seed Michigan State. The Spartans outlasted Mississippi State 69-51 in the first round on Thursday, getting their 20th win for the 12th time in the last 13 seasons, taking on a North Carolina squad that manhandled Wagner 90-62 on Thursday, their 132nd NCAA tournament win. That is the most all-time. Armando Bacot with a big day. He had 20 points and 15 rebounds against the Seahawks. His 7th straight double-double in the NCAA tournament, tying Tim Duncan and Hakeem Olajuwon for the most consecutive double-doubles in March Madness games. Also coming up later on, number 2 seed Iowa State and number 7 seed Washington State in the East region second round. This game coming up from Omaha later on today, the first ever meeting between the Cyclones and the Cougars. Cougs got their first NCAA tournament win since 2008 when Tony Bennett was the head coach, as they were able to get past Drake 66-61 and recording their 25th win of the season. First time they have done that since that 2007-08 season, taking on an Iowa State team that's pretty hot right now. They've won 8 of the last 9. They captured the Big 12 tournament championship by blowing out Houston last week, and they started off their NCAA 20 run with an 82-65 triumph over South Dakota State, now trying to get to the Sweet 16 for the second time in 3 years under TJ Otzelberger. A couple of Cinderella stories going at it from Pittsburgh later on today. A 4:10 tip-off between number 11 seed NC State and number 14 seed Oakland. The Golden Grizzlies knocked off third-seeded Kentucky 80-76 in the first round on Thursday behind Jack Golke's career-high 32 points, knocking down 10 three-pointers, one shy of the NCAA record. And Jack Golke, who nobody had really heard of prior to Thursday, now is at the front of just about every college basketball fan in America's minds as he'll try and lead Oakland to the Sweet 16 for the first time in program history against an NC State squad that's won 6 in a row. They won 5 in a row in 5 days in the ACC tournament, knocking off North Carolina in the championship game to reach the final, to get into March Madness. And now they were able to get an 80-67 win over 6-seeded Texas Tech in the first round on Thursday to move into the second round for the first time since 2015, trying to reach the Sweet 16 for the first time since that season. Number 2 seed Tennessee and number 7 seed Texas will go at it from Charlotte later on today. Battle between Rick Barnes and his former squad. Barnes, the winningest head coach in Texas history with over 420 wins during his tenure in Austin. He just recorded his 200th win at Tennessee on Thursday in an 83-49 blowout win against St. Peter's in the first round. Rick Barnes meeting up with his former squad, and he'll bring Dalton Connect with him. 23 points against St. Peter's, averaging 21.2 points per game, 16th in the country, and going up against Max Asmus, who had 12 points against Colorado State in a 56-44 grinded-out win over the Rams in the first round. And Asmus, 8th all-time on the NCAA scoring list, 3,122 career points, 28 shy of Doug McDermott for 7th all-time on the list. Number 3, Illinois will take on number 11 seed Duquesne in the second round East region in Omaha. Winner will take on Iowa State or Washington State in the Sweet 16 next week. The Dukes, with their first NCAA tournament win since 1969 on Thursday, knocking off number 6 seed BYU in the first round. They've won 9 in a row after capturing the Atlantic 10 tournament title, taking on an Illinois team that defeated Morehead State handily 85-69. They've won 5 in a row and now trying to get to the Sweet 16 for the first time since 2005 when they made it all the way to the national championship game before losing to North Carolina. And rounding out the schedule for today, number 3 seed Creighton and number 11 seed Oregon. The Ducks, they got past South Carolina 87-73 in the first round on Thursday. They've won 5 in a row. Creighton, after defeating Akron handily 77-60 on Thursday, now trying to get their first 25-win season since the 2016-2017 campaign. Dana Altman taking on his former squad. He led Creighton to 327 career victories before moving on to Oregon in 2010. Greg McDermott is now 3 wins shy of that mark set by Dana Altman. Want to remind you about Gonzaga women's basketball. They're in action today at the Kennel, taking on number 13 seed UC Irvine. The Bulldogs with a number 4 seed. That's their highest ever NCAA tournament seeding, riding a 34-game home winning streak. That's a program record and the second longest active streak in the country, behind only South Carolina's 57 in a row at home, as the Zags make their 7th straight NCAA tournament appearance, 15th in program history, and they will try and move on against a UC Irvine team that outlasted UC Davis in the Big West Championship game 53-39 to reach the NCAA tournament for the first time since 1995. That'll be a 4:30 tip from the Kennel in Spokane later on today. After this timeout, we'll take a timeout. We will send you back to the Delta Center in Salt Lake City for first half stats and get you set for the second half of action between number 5 seed Gonzaga and number 4 seed Kansas. It's a 1-point game. Zags trail 44-43 at the break, right here on the Gonzaga Sports Network from Learfield.
Some banks receive 5-star ratings and think they've arrived. But at Wheatland Bank, we call that just getting started. Now, as a member of the Glacier family of regional banks, we're doing even more of what made us an industry leader. Anticipating Eastern Washington's growing needs with more expertise, more technology, more resources, well, more everything. The new, even better Wheatland Bank. What more do you need? Seriously, we're asking.
Wheatland Bank, a division of Glacier Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its edge-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Welcome back to Salt Lake City. Let's check our first half statistics as Gonzaga trails Kansas 44-43 at the break. Braden Huff coming off the bench. Graham Ike in some foul trouble, played 13 and a half minutes. Leads Gonzaga in scoring with 11 points on 4 of 8 from the field. Nolan Hickman has 9 points. Ben Gregg has scored 9. He's perfect from the field today. 8 points for Anton Watson. 6 scored by Graham Ike. Ryan Nembhard hasn't scored, but 9 assists against just 1 turnover. Gonzaga shoots 56% in the first half, 19 out of 34. The Bulldogs were 3 out of 9 from behind the three-point line. Meanwhile, for Kansas, Hunter Dickinson is the leading scorer with 13. Jawan Harris has 10. They have done that on a combined 9 of 15 shooting and 4 of 4 from behind the three-point line. Johnny Furphy scored 9 points in the first half. Nicholas Timberlake has 6 first-half points, as does K.J. Adams. Adams and Dickinson each with 2 personal fouls for the Jayhawks, who shoot 50% from the field in the first half, 17 out of 34. They were 7 out of 11 shooting threes, 3 of 5 at the free throw line. So, Mo, really, I think one of the numbers are a couple that jump out at you, but it's that three-point shooting. They shoot 33% as a group on the season. They've hit 7 of 11 in the first half.
Yeah, some of them were scramble plays, too, where we just got unlucky and didn't secure a rebound or tip pass thinking we're going the other way, and they retained possession. So I thought for the most part, besides that first Timberlake one that he hit, that we were kind of there defensively, right? Obviously, you can take it away, but these are skilled enough guys to drive by you and lay it up as well. So you got to have, good defensive position. But it's the NCAA tournament. They're going to make shots, and hopefully we can negate that in the second half.
20-15 advantage on the glass, +5 for the Jayhawks. 8 of those were offensive rebounds, leading to 9 second chance points. Like to see that get cleaned up a little bit too, Mo.
Yeah, you can't allow second chance points. Again, kick out threes are the hardest thing to guard, and I think for the most part, if you look at the numbers, we're pretty much even. 12 assists, 13 assists, 5 turnovers, 3 turnovers. It's just the 3-point shooting. We're pretty even on the line. Two makes to our we have 2 makes, they have 3. I think the 3-point line's the only thing, but it's not one of their strengths, so I think we'll obviously make an adjustment, but we can't just abandon trying to help on Dickinson. He had a good first half as well. You got to give help inside to your big man.
Huff leads Gonzaga with 11. Dickinson has 13 to go along with 4 assists as Kansas leads by 1 at intermission. Both teams back on the floor getting ready for the second half, which is coming your way right after this. 44-43, Kansas over Gonzaga. Second half coming your way next. You're listening to Gonzaga Bulldog basketball from Learfield.
Want to earn some extra money this winter? Spokane International Airport is hiring multiple seasonal snow removal equipment operators. These are on-call positions for the upcoming winter season from November 2023 to March 2024. You can earn up to $36 an hour. Some positions require a CDL, and previous experience in operating snow removal equipment is highly preferred. Join our team today. Learn more and apply by visiting SpokaneSnow.com.
When you play the lottery, you are supporting education across Washington, preschool and post-high school. You're providing opportunities to the leaders of tomorrow and a chance at higher learning for those wanting more. You're supporting ABCs and PhDs, priming the next finger paint proteges, and providing tuition for undergrad overachievers. We know today's spelling bee superstars and soon-to-be CEOs appreciate you, and we do too. Thanks for playing.
When you play, all of Washington wins. Must be 18 or older to purchase.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
back in Salt Lake City. Earlier today, Arizona knocked off Dayton to advance in the West region. Bulldogs and Kansas looking to advance to Detroit next week and the Sweet 16. Mo, what do the Bulldogs need to accomplish to get that done here in the second half?
Obviously, we've got to do a little bit better job on the glass. 8 offensive rebounds, -5. That was one of the keys to the game. And then take away the three-point line, 7-11 for Kansas. So if we can shore up those two things, obviously only down 1, I think we're in a good position.
Gonzaga is the number 5 seed, wearing the road blue uniforms. Kansas wearing their home whites. On Thursday, the Zags won their 15th consecutive first-round game. Second longest active streak only to the Jayhawks, who have won 17 consecutive opening games. They won 93-89 over Samford in the first round. Both teams are going to send their starting 5 out to open the second half. Nemhard, Hickman, Watson, Ike, and Gregg for Gonzaga. Graham plays with 2 fouls. Dickinson, Timberlake, Harris, Furphy, and Adams for the Jayhawks. Adams and Dickinson each have 2. Kansas will have the ball to open the second half. And away we go. Harris brings it to his right, hands it off to Timberlake. Dribbles to the left, pass to Adams, now in the near corner for Harris. To Dickinson out top. Back to Harris, three-point line right side. And shake free of Hickman, picks up his dribble. Passes in the corner to Furphy. 10 seconds to shoot. Furphy defended by Ike. Drives, loses his balance, gets it back, throws up an air ball. Dickinson should have been called for an over the back, but Kansas is going to keep it as he tips it out for an offensive rebound, and then Timberlake hits the 3.
It's another weird play that Kansas benefits on. Air ball.
Bulldogs trail it 47-43. Hickman gets a screen from Ike, shoots a 3, and it's good. He answers. Nolan makes it 47-46.
Hickman 2 for 2 from downtown.
Nolan good in the first half, is into double figures now with 12. Dickinson hands it off to Furphy, sets a screen. Furphy shoots the 3. That one won't go down. Ike rebounds. Pass away to Nemhard. The Bulldogs have a chance to go back on top. We've got 5 lead changes and 4 ties. Nemhard gets a screen from Ike, fires pass right side. Watson gives it up to Hickman. Dribbling with the left hand, gets into the paint, gets all the way to the rim, flips it up with the right hand on the switch. Hickman has 14, and Gonzaga's back on top.
That was a good job by Ike sealing off Dickinson on that drive to allow that lane to open up.
Harris pulls a pass over to Furphy. Back out to Harris. Gets a screen from Adams. Driving with the left hand. Pass back to Adams. Pull up from 12 is good. 49-48. Jayhawks with the lead. Gregg trailing. Short pass left side to Watson. Looking for Ike. Defended by Dickinson. Faces up on him. Now backing him down. Spins to the baseline. Shot up and in. Silky smooth from Ike. Gonzaga by 1.
Yeah, it was a tough shot. Pretty good defense from Dickinson, but that was about a 13-footer baseline side. Up and over 7-2 guy.
Harris walks across the timeline with left-handed dribble. Gives it up to Timberlake. Bulldogs moving right to left here in the second half. As Kansas puts it in the hands of Adams. Picks up his dribble, three-point line. Bulldogs back off him. He feeds Dickinson. Dickinson, double team, kicks it out to Harris. Extra pass right side. Furphy challenged by Watson, misses the 3. Ike clears the glass to Nemhard. Ryan, 1-on-3, will flip it to Gregg trailing. Ben to the baseline with the dribble, bounces it to Watson for the 1-handed throwdown. Zags by 3.
Great cut from the top of the floor. Anton Watson. Beautiful finish.
Harris driving on Nemhard, kicks it back out to Furphy. Fires a pass left side, Timberlake. Fakes the 3, gets a screen from Dickinson. Back to Adams. Three-point line right side, dribbles once. Hands it off to Harris, being hounded by Nemhard. 10 seconds to shoot. Harris penetrating with the left hand, bumped off, balanced by Nemhard, misses the shot. Rebound Furphy, but he loses it out of bounds, and it should be, no, it's going to be a foul on the Bulldogs. I believe they got Watson for it. Zags lead at 52-49. Anton whistled for the personal foul. His first of the game. Harris flips it into Dickinson. Gives it up to Adams at the left elbow. Back out top to Harris, the point guard. It's a screen from Dickinson. Dribbles to his right. Back to Dickinson. Kick in the corner, Furphy. He'll shoot a 3. That one is off the mark. Rebound goes to Ike. Fought it away from Dickinson. Nemhard again headed the other way for GU. Little crossover move, gets the rim on Harris. lays it up and in. Gonzaga 54, Kansas 49.
Beautiful transition move, right to left crossover.
Nemhard's first basket of the game is a beauty. 54-49, 3.5 gone by second half. Harris to Adams at the right elbow. Now to Furphy. Quick feed to Dickinson. Spins to the baseline. Left-handed hook shot comes up short. Ike with another Gonzaga rebound. Nemhard quickly up the left side of the floor. Gets a screen from Ike. Bounce it back to Graham. He'll use the glass and score again for the Bulldogs. Bill Self frustrated as he calls a timeout. The Bulldogs have their biggest lead of the game.
Beautiful two-man game on the left side of the floor. Nice pocket pass. Nemhard to Ike. Nemhard having a beautiful floor game. 10 assists. Gonzaga, great start to the second half.
Gonzaga has scored 8 consecutive points on a 13-2 run if you take it back to the first half. And GU enjoys its largest lead of the game. This timeout takes us to a full timeout. 16:09 left in our basketball game. 56-49, Zags on top. You're listening to Gonzaga Bulldog basketball from their field.
Want to earn some extra money this winter? Spokane International Airport is hiring multiple seasonal snow removal equipment operators. These are on-call positions for the upcoming winter season from November 2023 to March 2024. You can earn up to $36 an hour. Some positions require a CDL, and previous experience in operating snow removal equipment is highly preferred. Join our team today. Learn more and apply by visiting SpokaneSnow.com.
BECU. You've heard the name, seen the letters. But what does BECU stand for? Simply put, not-for-profit BECU stands for people. For charting your own path. For choosing what's right for members instead of what's profitable for someone else. Because they are the reason our credit union exists. So we do everything in our power to help them reach their financial goals. BECU. Power in people. All Pacific Northwest residents are eligible to join. Federally insured by NCAA.
Papa Murphy's $9.99 extra large New York style pizza
is a big deal.
So we're going big to tell everyone about it. How big? We're talking action movie big. Carving $9.99 XLNY into a mountainside big. And shouting it from the literal mountaintops big. Because the XLNY is everything you can expect from a classic New York style pizza, hot and fresh out of your oven for just $9.99. Order the XLNY pizza at papamurphys.com.
Our score in Salt Lake City, Gonzaga 56, Kansas 49, 16:09 to play in our second round NCAA tournament game. Gonzaga basketball is brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Visit Toyota.com or your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. Tom Hudson, Adam Morrison with you here. The Jayhawks have come out of their huddle. They'll have the basketball. Coach Pugh still has the Zags sitting in the far corner receiving some final instructions. So an 8-0 run for the Bulldogs. Kansas hasn't scored in 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Mo, we could have asked for a better start to the second half if you're a Zag fan.
Yeah, absolutely. Rolling offensively. I like our pace as well. Got EK involved. He made a tough turnaround and got that beautiful pocket pass and finished a nice 8-foot bank shot. We got Nemhard on the board as well.
Furphy defended by Greg's return to action, gets a screen, pull-up jumper, comes up short. Nemhard rebounds to the free throw line. He's on the run, finds Watson. Anton hit as he shoots. It's off the mark, but is headed to the free throw line. Furphy got to a wide open free throw line jumper, couldn't connect. And the Bulldogs will get 2 free throws from Anton Watson on the other end. We have an official timeout on the floor here in Salt Lake City after playing just 2 possessions. 15:55 to play. Our score remains the same. 56-49 Bulldogs. You're listening to Gonzaga Bulldog basketball from their field.
BECU. You've heard the name, seen the letters. But what does BECU stand for? Simply put, not-for-profit BECU stands for people. For charting your own path. For choosing what's right for members instead of what's profitable for someone else. Because they are the reason our credit union exists. So we do everything in our power to help them reach their financial goals. BECU. Power in people. All Pacific Northwest residents are eligible to join. Federally insured by NCAA.
When staring down the barrel of a crispy fish, fish and cheddar, and classic roast beef, it's pretty obvious that roast beef isn't wild-caught Alaskan pollock. Excellent observation skills. Now, what do they all have in common? They're just 2 for $6 at Arby's. You are killing it, sandwich sleuth. Now reward yourself with Arby's 2 for $6 classic roast beef and crispy fish sandwich deal. Arby's, we have the meats.
At participating Arby's for a limited time, tax not included.
Feeling those winter blues? Boost your energy with Wake Up Call's signature Mad Hatter energy during Mad Hatter Happy Hour. Every Monday through Friday from 4 to close, enjoy a 24-ounce Mad Hatter for $3.75 and a 32-ounce Mad Hatter for $5.50. It'll add that extra pep in your step you need to cheer on the Zags. Cheers to drinking local with Wake Up Call.
Gonzaga 56, Kansas 49 in this second round Midwest tournament game. The winner is headed to Detroit. Anton Watson's going to shoot a pair of free throws when we come back from this timeout. And how about the Bulldogs in the second half? They have gone 6 for 6 out of the locker room, knocked down their only three-point attempt. Meanwhile, Kansas has started 2 for 9. That's allowed the Bulldogs to take their biggest lead of the game. And the rebounding numbers closed up a little bit too, Mo, which is nice.
Yeah, we're -5.5 now, -2, so obviously +3 early in this second half. But Furphy for Kansas 0 for 4 to start the second half, so had pretty good looks as well. Obviously, we got to continue to keep contesting his shot, but hopefully he doesn't get hot. But I like the pace that we're playing at. Getting Dickinson involved in pick and roll coverages, get him away from the basket. Now that refs are talking to EK and Dickinson again, they didn't learn their lesson the first time when they told them to play fair at the start of the game.
It's the third time that we've had it. So two between those two. They're both pretty fiery competitors. Watson at the free throw line. His first one is all net. Anton one of 3 Zags in double figures.
Yes, to be fair, is better than blowing the whistle a ton. So
yes,
I guess I drop my sarcasm and let them do their jobs.
Watson makes them both, and the lead grows to 58-49. Harris, cross half court with a left-handed dribble. Hands it off to Timberlake. Right sideline pass, it's Dickinson. Dribbling to his left. Little weave action, hands it off to Harris. Bounce back to Adams in the paint. Kick out to Furphy. Here's a whistle, and a foul's going to go against the Bulldogs. I think it's Ben Craig who's whistled for the personal. Ben a little shaken up, kind of landed awkwardly there. Legs got tied up.
Adams dove into him accidentally.
Inbound for Harris on the baseline. Gets it into Dickinson, who loses it off his fingertips and out of bounds into the Kansas bench. Gonzaga ball. Watson inbounds to Nemhard, who brings it up the floor under pressure from Harris. Pass in the front court to Hickman. Near side, gets a screen from Ike, dribbles to the right, fakes the bounce pass, steps back, shoots a 3, and makes it. The Bulldogs are flat out on fire. They lead at 61-49.
Drop coverage on the pick and roll on the top of the key. Leaves them wide open. Hickman.
Nolan having a big game. Dickinson hands it off to Furphy, driving with the left hand, challenging Ike. Shot wouldn't go. Ball tipped. Greg has the rebound. That the official is going to call a foul. I believe it's going to be on Ben, and he's going to limp off the floor. Dusty Stromer is going to check in for the Bulldogs at the 15:09 mark. Ben limping back to his spot on the bench as Kansas inbounds. Here's Timberlake with it. Looking for Adams. He's got it. Going to work on Watson. Leans into Anton. Misses the shot. Ike with another second half rebound for the Bulldogs. Quick outlet to Hickman. Nolan's into the front court. Furphy slows him down. Picks up the dribble. Bounces to Ike. Graham catches. Adams challenges. It's an air ball. Ball out of bounds. The officials will say it was Watson who knocked it out. Boy, Adams, that was pretty crafty defense there, Mo.
Pretty good recovery on the pocket pass from Hickman to Ike. He got in legal guarding position and laid a body on him. without fouling and caused that miss. It was good defense.
Harris into the front court, gets a screen from Dickinson. Pass three-point line right side. It's Furphy. Skips left side to Timberlake. Back to Harris. Bulldogs lead 61-49, 14.5 to play in the game. Dickinson sets a screen for Harris. He drives, a little one-hander, won't go down. Rebound goes to Dickinson. He just flops as he throws it up there and misses. It's like he lost the handle. Gonzaga has the ball. Nembhard into the front court. Slowed down by Harris. Retreats with a dribble. Zags will set up the offense. Bounce to Ike. Far side. Faces up on Dickinson. Fakes the jump shot. Now backing him down. Spins to the baseline. Shot up and in. And the Bulldogs have a 14-point lead. 63-49 on the finish from Ike. 14:02 left in our basketball game. Adams, three-point line. Dribbles to the free throw line. Pull up. Challenged by Watson. No good. Rebound tipped out into the hands of Harris. He finds Dickinson in the paint, and he throws it in. Another scramble play.
Got to get that rebound. Stromer, he's had a good floor game. He's got to grab that ball.
Zags lead is 63-51. And here's a foul on Harris as Nembhard tried to get around him. Gonzaga leading 63-51 as Stromer inbounds on the sideline right here in front of us at the table. Murphy defends the inbound play. There's a bounce in for Nembhard. Fires a one-handed pass over Ike, three-point line right back to Nembhard. Dribbles to the baseline. He's underneath the basket now. Pass out to Stromer at the three-point line. Bounce back for Nembhard. 10 seconds to shoot. Nembhard gets a screen from Ike. Drives, passes in the far corner. A three on the way for Watson is all net. And this Bulldog offense is cooking in the second half. 66-51.
9 for 10 in the second half. 4 for 4 from downtown.
Dickinson to answer. The lefty's three is off the mark, and Nembhard has another Gonzaga rebound. Ryan's into the front court. Drives on Timberlake, who slips and falls, but the ball's kicked right into the hands of Furphy, and Kansas breaks out. Furphy goes to the ground, and boy, that's tough luck for Anton, because Furphy was going to fall over, and Anton barely got a piece of him as he swiped at it. But
he made up his mind. He was making a move and didn't read the defense. 3 for 3 from downtown. Gonzaga in the second half, but still 9 to 10. Obviously on fire. Getting everything they want offensively. 63% overall as a club. 6 to 12 from downtown overall.
Here's an inbound to Timberlake. Dribbling at the free throw line. Hands it back to Harris. To Timberlake for the alley-oop.
Brown with the dunk, Huddy.
Oh, that was Brown. I'm sorry. Brown's checked back in. My fault.
No worries. Timberlake probably can't dunk.
He's actually the guy who got
you're right.
Yeah, it is Parker Brown who's checked back in. He's in for Dickinson. Here's Huff. Left side pass to Stromer. Skips it right side to Nembhard. Nembhard gets a screen from Huff. Dribbling to his left. Now spins back to his right. To Stromer at the three-point line. 3 seconds to shoot. Stromer drives on Furphy. Gets two defenders in the air. Leaves it for Huff, but it's going to come after the shot clock. Boy, Furphy got away with a lot of two-handed shove on the last about 4 seconds of that drive by Stromer.
That was a good take by Stromer. He's got to recognize the clock, though, and that was actually a beautiful bounce pass, just a second late. It's a big sequence here with Graham Ike going to the bench. Huddy, he's been rolling all half. Stromer and Huff got to keep the energy up off the bench.
Harris walks it across half court. Zags lead 66-53. It's a screen from Adams. Drives, gets all the way to the rim, and hits the bottom of the rim. Ball is loose. Hickman dives on it. So does Adams. He's able to get it away to Harris. Nolan Hickman is hurt. Jackson driving, falls down, throws it to Adams, and throws it out of bounds. And Nolan is down holding his face. And they're going to call Josh Therian over to check on the junior guard. He dove on that ball as Adams was on it, too. Had people flying all over the place. And let's see if they can get Nolan back up and moving here. As the crowd goes quiet here in Salt Lake City. 12 minutes to play in our basketball game. Gonzaga leads at 66-53. We have an official timeout. Nolan Hickman is going to be helped to his feet, holding his jaw, but appears to be okay. This stoppage in play gives us a timeout. 66-53, Gonzaga on top. You're listening to Gonzaga Bulldog basketball from Learfield.
BECU. You've heard the name, seen the letters. But what does BECU stand for? Simply put, not-for-profit BECU stands for people. For charting your own path. For choosing what's right for members instead of what's profitable for someone else. Because they are the reason our credit union exists. So we do everything in our power to help them reach their financial goals. BECU. Power in people. All Pacific Northwest residents are eligible to join. Federally insured by NCUA.
1 in 8 women will experience breast cancer. Annual screening mammograms beginning at age 40 offer the best strategy for catching cancer early. Mammography is the only test scientifically proven to reduce deaths from breast cancer. The data doesn't lie. Early detection saves lives. Schedule your annual screening mammogram today. Call 509-455-4455. Ask us about evening and weekend appointments. Inland Imaging. For answers you can trust and care you can count on.
College sports fans now have access to hundreds of weekly podcasts that zero in on the college sports world. Now available in the Varsity Podcast Network and part of the new Varsity app. The app is free and available from wherever you get your favorite apps. Download the Varsity app today to have access to hundreds of national podcasts as well as your favorite team-focused podcasts. The Varsity Podcast Network, now available for free on the Varsity app. Download from the App Store and listen today.
Back in Salt Lake City, 66-53. Gonzaga leads Kansas with 12 minutes to play. Nolan Hickman's going to check out of the game, but good news, he got hit in the jaw there. He's drinking water and appears to be all right. And the Bulldogs, 17 points from Hickman thus far on 7 of 9 shooting. He's leading scorer. Watson has 15. Ike has 12. Huff with 11. Ryan Nemhard, 1 of 5 from the field for 2 points, but 11 assists. Has tied his brother Andrew for most in an NCAA tournament game by a Zag. Mo, he has really had his pulse on this game here tonight.
Yeah, he's kept the pace in our direction. He's made really good decisions of how to distribute the basketball, obviously. Only has 2 turnovers to go with those 11 assists. It's not just about scoring as a point guard. Is with a quarterback out there, get everybody involved.
Nemhard defended by Jackson as he brings it across half court. Ben Gregg back out to those 2 personals. Huff is in for the first time in the second half. Stromer trying to bounce it to him. Gets it there. Braden going after Jackson. Backs him down with a right-handed dribble. Double team comes, finds Watson right underneath the basket, who lays it in. Boy, Adams hit his finger on the rim as he tried to block this shot, but a beautiful look from Huff to Watson, and the Bulldogs leads back to 15. 11:30 to play here in Salt Lake City. Timberlake back on the floor now, gives it up to Jackson. Dribbles to the left side, now retreats. Short pass to Furphy, back out to Harris. Now Adams to the three-point line, hand off to Jackson. Right wing, 4 seconds to shoot. Pass knocked away by Watson. They get it back. Timberlake as the shot clock expires. Barely draws iron. Gonzaga rebounds. It's Watson. Up the right side for Nemhard. Bulldogs look to build on a 15-point lead. Nemhard passes far corner. Gregg wide open as the defender falls. And Gregg hits another 3 for the Bulldogs. And Bill Self again is forced to call a timeout as Gonzaga's offense has been so potent since we came out of the locker room for the second half. 71-53, 10:52 to play in our game. And everything going right for the Bulldogs. Well, the timeout called by the Jayhawks. Let's see, the Bulldogs are acting as if it's a 30-second timeout. Kansas is sitting like it's a full. We'll keep it here for the time being, as we just had our official timeout at the 12-minute mark. And the Bulldog bench still trying to get some understanding of what's going on right now.
Official just chewed out Jorge.
Yeah, for asking
if it's a full or 30. Jeez.
And now the officials telling them they have to stand up. So
goodness.
No, we're gonna.
How do you look at Gonzaga's second half shooting? 11 of 12, 91%, 4 of 4 from downtown, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, +2 on the glass in the second half. Absolutely rolling. Still plenty of game. There's 10:52 left. Up 18. Obviously comfortable margin, but this is modern basketball. Teams can get back in the game at the 3-point line. So we still got a ways to go, but our guys are absolutely firing on all cylinders.
23-4 run over the last 7+ minutes for the Bulldogs.
That's a lot.
Gonzaga leading by 18. Murphy, Harris, Dickinson comes back in off the bench. Adams is also out there, and Timberlake. For the Bulldogs, Stromer, Nemhard, Gregg, Ike, and Watson. Nolan Hickman continues to sit on the bench. What a game he's had. 17. Harris between the circles. Over to Furphy at the three-point line. On the baseline for Adams. Drives across the paint. Stripped away by Gregg. Kansas gets it back. Harris drives. The runner comes up short. Gregg flies in, tips a rebound, but can't control it. Timberlake has it now. Over to Furphy. Dribbles to his left. Denied on the baseline by Ike. Graham shuffling those feet, doing a great job defensively. Bounce to Adams. Adams going to work on Gregg. Little hook shot. Won't go down. Gregg tips it, controls the rebound, hands it off to Nemhard, who brings Gonzaga the other way. Ryan slows the pace, calls out the play. Bulldogs lead 71-53 as we approach 10 minutes to play. Nemhard dribbles to his right off the Ike screen. Passes back left corner, Watson. Fakes the three into the paint. Fakes the shot. Spins. Passes back out for Nemhard. 9 seconds to shoot. Ryan calling for a screen from Ike. Gets it. Dribbles to his left. Slowed down by Dickinson. Passes right side Watson. He'll get to the right elbow. Pull-up jumper. Won't go down. Gregg fighting for the rebound, but Timberlake beats him to it. Timberlake up the left side. It's Furphy with it now in front of the Kansas bench. In the corner to Adams. He looks over the top. Dickinson catches. Has it blocked from behind by Gregg. And Stromer comes away with it for the Bulldogs. Gets it to Nemhard. Quickly into the front court. Ryan will spin away from pressure. And the Zags again will set up their offense. Good news, Nolan Hickman waits to check back in. Nemhard to his right. Back to Gregg, three-point line. Extra pass to the corner to Stromer. He's got a three on the way, and that one is on net. And the Zags offense cannot be stopped in Salt Lake City.
5 of 5 in the second half for Gonzaga.
Here's Dickinson to answer. His three pops out, and Gregg has another rebound for the Bulldogs. Nemhard up the right side again. A screen from Ike. And now the Bulldogs will set up the offense. Nemhard gets a screen from Ike. Dribbles to his right. Out top for Watson. Fakes the three. Drives on Adams. Can't get up a shot. 7 seconds to shoot. Finds Nemhard cutting. He'll retreat with the dribble. Nemhard, 2 seconds. 1 second. Off balance runner. Wouldn't go down. Timberlake rebounds. Zags lead it 74-53. Dickinson hands it off to Furphy. Sets a screen for him. The Australian misses. Watson rebounds. Well, Kansas struggling offensively. Hasn't scored in 4.5 minutes. And for the Bulldogs, it's been the exact opposite. 26-4 run for GU. The Bulldogs have made 5 of their last 7. Zag fans on their feet. Nemhard dribbling to his right. Front of the GU bench. Looks for Ike. Graham couldn't quite handle the pass off his fingertips and out of bounds.
Fairness, it was a fastball inside a little bit.
Nemhard has 12 assists. That's the new school NCAA tournament record for assists. Also makes him the single-season all-time assist leader, passing Josh Perkins.
Wow, that's pretty cool. And he beat his brother's record.
Yeah, in the same
little
day.
brother, like that's a pretty good day, huh?
Yes, it is. 8 minutes to play in the game. Zags lead 74-53. Gregg almost steals it. Ball still loose. Watson comes away with it. His pass deflected. Gregg comes away with it. Nemhard now, and he is fouled hard by Timberlake. Murphy's going to step in there and help Ryan up. Timberlake took him down hard. Official timeout in Salt Lake City, and what a second half for the Gonzaga Bulldogs, who lead at 74-53 after trailing by 1 at halftime. 7:53 to play at the Delta Center. Back after this, you're listening to Gonzaga Bulldog basketball from Learfield.
Want to earn some extra money this winter? Spokane International Airport is hiring multiple seasonal snow removal equipment operators. These are on-call positions for the upcoming winter season from November 2023 to March 2024. You can earn up to $36 an hour. Some positions require a CDL, and previous experience in operating snow removal equipment is highly preferred. Join our team today. Learn more and apply by visiting SpokaneSnow.com.
Have you tried Wake Up Call's signature energy drink, Mad Hatter? Made with 12 all-natural ingredients and 11% less sugar, it's bound to help you keep those New Year's resolutions. Try it during Mad Hatter Happy Hour, every Monday through Friday from 4 to close. It'll add that extra pep in your step you need to cheer on the Zags. Drink local, drink Wake Up Call.
We care about your safety. If you need to break ground on a new outdoor project, be aware that buried electric and natural gas lines can be anywhere. It's the law to call 811 at least 2 business days before you dig. Spray paint white lines showing your dig zone, and a crew will mark the utility lines. Mark accuracy zone is within 2 feet of the mark, so always hand dig to expose the line first. Call 811 before you dig. The service is free for residential customers. Avista, we just want you to be safe.
(74-53), Gonzaga leads Kansas after trailing the Jayhawks 44-43 at halftime. We still have 7 minutes and 53 seconds to play here in Salt Lake City. The American Credit Union money answers for people who know Gonzaga does in fact exist. Plus, show your Bulldog pride with your Zags debit card offered only at America, federally insured by NCAA. Mo, what a second half this has been. Gonzaga 12 out of 15 for 80%. They've made all 5 of their threes. Meanwhile, 4 out of 24 shooting for the Jayhawks, 1 of 7 from behind the three-point line. That after they made 7 of 11 in the first.
We talked about that as that being the key to the second half is obviously taking care of the glass. We've shored that up a little bit, only -2. And then guarding the three-point line, so totally flipped there, 7-11 like you mentioned. Then we go 1 for 7 defensively in the second half. So great job by our guys of adjusting. But we got to be fair, too. Kansas has missed some good looks, too. I mean, like, defensively, we're flying around, but there's Furphy started the half 0 for 4. Harris has, Nemhard makes the first free throw. Harris hit the bottom of the backboard on a wide-open layup. Like, you haven't seen that since the 4th grade AAU team. I'm not even kidding. Like, literally the bottom of the backboard. You're really struggling offensively as Nemhard makes both free throws.
The run is 28-4. Gonzaga extends its biggest lead of the game. There's a feed to Dickinson. Defended low block right side by Ike. Into the paint, gets up that left-handed hook, and he comes up short. Ike with another Gonzaga rebound. Nemhard started to run, and then Coach Pugh said, let's slow this thing down with a 23-point lead and 7.5 to play. Nemhard dribbles from the left to the right, trying to get around Dickinson. He can't. Keeps the dribble alive, fires a pass out. Watson has to save it from going into the backcourt. Anton gives it right back to the Bulldogs point guard. It's a screen from Watson. Bounces back to Anton. Goes to work with 4 seconds on the clock. Spins the baseline on Adams. Shot won't go, but a whistle and a foul goes against the junior 4-man for Kansas.
Good call by the official when he was getting into his load up to jump. He crowded his space, crowded his cylinders with the referee term, and I don't think that gets called enough, but it's a dangerous play when you're walking underneath a guy that's airborne, especially a shooter. Anton makes the first. Good call by the official. I think they've been pretty fair, honestly, in this game. They've been irrelevant, which means that they've done well. You know, there hasn't been that many head scratchers yet. We saw the game before us, and they let them beating a pine tar out of each other.
Anton makes them both. 78-53 is the Gonzaga advantage as we approach 7 minutes to play. The run continues for Gonzaga. It has been truly remarkable as here's a pass out to Jackson, who's checked in. Over to Harris, driving baseline, leaving for Dickinson at the right elbow. Pass over to Jackson. He's wide open. His 3 won't go down. Ike has another Gonzaga rebound. Gonzaga, over the last 6.5 minutes, a 16-2 run. I believe we're up to 30-4 if you go back into the first half. 78-53. Nemhard dribbling to his right. Pass back to Watson, three-point line. On the sideline, near side to Hickman. Back to Anton, wide open under the basket. Reverses and scores 2 more. Well, Anton Watson putting on a show here as the Bulldogs improve their lead to 80-53. Harris driving with the left hand, gets a shot up over Ike, comes up short, ball is out of bounds, last touched by Hunter Dickinson.
Short arm after short arm after short arm for Kansas right now. Great news for Gonzaga, but I mean, these are point blankers almost, or 8-footers, you know, that are 7.5 feet. Short every single time.
Anton Watson, 21 points, sixth 20-point game of the season after he scored 4 in a row for GU. Nemhard brings the ball up the floor for the Zags, who comfortably lead by 27 as we approach 6 minutes to play. Hickman gets a screen from Ike. Pass down low to Graham on the pick and roll. He's fouled by Jackson before the shot. Parker Brown has checked in, and Dickinson has checked out. How about the Bulldogs trailed 44-43 at halftime? Gonzaga has scored 37 points since the break.
37-9.
37-9.
13 out of 16 from the field in the second half.
Nemhard to Ike. Defended by Brown. Backing him down. Spins to the baseline. It's an air ball. Adams rebounds, gets it away to Jackson. Slowed down by Hickman. Dribbling with the left, switches back to the right, flips it up and in.
Sarcastic cheer from the Kansas fans, not even joking. Did you hear that? Yay, we made a layup. Wow.
Jackson with his first made basket of the game. Gonzaga with 5.5 to play leads 80-55. Watson, left side to Gregg. Ike's calling for it, and an offensive foul is going to be called on Graham. Jackson was really trying to swim around Graham and get in front of him. Graham threw a forearm out and caught him. They're going to check Graham out and bring Brayton in.
Started chirping at the official, and he's looking at him like, you're up 25, bud. And Graham gets a little bit heated at times, which I don't mind if it doesn't cost you a game. Obviously, we're in firm control of this one. I like guys being a little bit on the edge and reel them back instead of having to get to the edge.
Adams sets a screen for Harris, drills to the low post, pass out deflected by Hickman, but chased down by Jackson. Braden Huff back in for the Bulldogs, pass out to Brown, who hits a three. 80-55 is the score. Hickman, far side of the floor, about 30 feet from the basket. Now defended by Brown on the switch. Pass over to Nemhard. To Watson, three-point line. Skips it in the near corner to Gregg. Gregg defended by McDowell, who's back in there. Backing him down. Spins into the paint. The one-hander rattles around and drops. Everything is working for the Bulldogs here in the second half against Kansas. 82-55.
Perfect 6 of 6 from the field. 14 points, 7 rebounds.
Adams pull up from the free throw line is good. Kudos to Ben. We got that figured out. Oh, because he was struggling a little bit early.
Yeah, he was just, the energy wasn't there. He had missed a couple box outs. Remember, he didn't get back, and Adams had that lob dunk on a free throw, so.
Watson into Huff. Spins and misses. A little too strong back iron. Harris heads the other way. 3:55 to play. Gonzaga 82-60. Three won't go down. Near corner, Jackson with the miss. Nemhard secures the rebound. Ryan's just going to walk it up the floor. Now breaks into a trot to beat the clock. Yeah. It's only 1 second left, but he did it. Now over to Hickman now on the right side. To Huff between the circles. Couple of dribbles for the redshirt freshman. Now to Nemhard. Out top for Watson. Nemhard one more time. They're trying to post Braden up. Nemhard dribbles into the paint. Passes in the far corner. It's deflected out of bounds. I believe Harris got a piece of it. And when we return from our final official timeout, the Zags left 3 seconds to shoot. Gonzaga 82, Kansas 60, a monster second half as the Bulldogs very close to a ninth straight Sweet 16 appearance. We're going to take a break. We're back after this. You're listening to Gonzaga Bulldog basketball from Learfield.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Support Gonzaga men's basketball through NIL. Zags Collective is the leading NIL collective supporting Zags student athletes through name, image, and likeness. Zags Collective creates opportunities for student athletes to engage with the community and grow their brand. Plus, you get access to autograph sessions, exclusive events, and more. Become a member today. Go to zagscollective.com and get started.
At Wheatland Bank, we're all about relationships, so we couldn't be more proud to announce the relationship of a lifetime. Wheatland Bank is now part of the Glacier family of regional banks. With Glacier at our side, we'll deliver exciting new products and the latest technologies. Still, we're keeping our name, like one of those power couples you read about in the magazines. But you know, still bankers. Wheatland Bank, relationships you can count on.
Wheatland Bank, a division of Glacier Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The fifth-seeded Zags have led number 4 seed Kansas by as many as 27 points thanks to a dominating second half, 39-16. GU outscoring the Jayhawks here since intermission. Well, listen to coverage of NCAA championships on the Varsity Network app powered by Learfield. Fans can hear Westwood One's exclusive national coverage along with most school broadcasts through a multicast option. That's only on the Varsity Network app, available for free in your app store. No, we look at these statistics. Anton Watson, his 6 20-point game. Zags getting it all the way across the board. Ben Gregg, as you mentioned, 14 and 7, hasn't missed from the field. 17 for Hickman on 7 of 9 shooting. Braden has 11, 12 points for Graham Ike. Nemhard, 4 points on 1 of 6, but 12 assists to set the school record for a tournament game.
Yeah, just everything firing on all cylinders, shooting-wise. 19 assists, 7 turnover. I mean, we're shooting 62%, 57 from 3, just rolling.
Inbound intended for Ike is over his fingertips. A turnover. Watson blocks the layup attempt of Harris. Adams chases down the loose ball, and then as he tries to get it back to Harris, Hickman pokes it away. Well, you'd like to bottle this thing up.
Yeah.
What a second half for the Bulldogs. With the steal, leading by 22 as we approach 3 minutes to play. Nemhard picks up his dribble, needs some help. Gets it away to Watson. Watson pass intended for Hickman is knocked out of bounds by Brown. It looks like Anton got hit in the hand as he threw that pass. Looks like I think his right ring finger that he's pulling on over there. Ben Gregg's going to inbound from the far side. 8 seconds on the shot clock. On the work on Jackson, gets the shot up, it's off the mark. A whistle on a foul. I thought maybe they're going to get Graham for that clear out screen there, Mo, but instead Nemhard's headed to the free throw line. Nemhard's going to shoot a pair of free throws for GU. His first one rims out. Just joining us, the Bulldogs trailed by as many as 6 in the first half, led by as many as 6 in the first half. They were down 44-43 at the break. They lead at 82-60 now. 1 out of 2 for Nemhard. It's been as many as 27 as Kansas heads the other way with Adams. Hands it off to Jackson. Skips it right side. McDowell drives with the left hand and scores off the glass as he hits Anton Watson in the face with his forearm. Boy, Anton's had a tough couple of possessions. He's clearing out to get some space, and yeah, Anton's going to need a sub. He got cracked. He is still trying to figure things out there as he got hit right across the bridge of the nose.
It's the worst. You get teary-eyed, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and you're obviously tough and can't see for a bit, and you want to punch the guy that did it to you, but he probably didn't mean to. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those deals that's frustrating.
Anton heads to the bench. I have to think his night has done 21 points, 6 rebounds. It's been phenomenal for the Bulldogs. Gomer back on the floor.
2 games in a row, been terrific.
Nemhard fires a one-handed pass over to Hickman on the right side. Dribbling out top, trying to get it to Ike. Can't. Retreats with the dribble. Defended by Brown. Penetrates with the left hand. Gets all the way to the rim. Brown blocks it. Gregg follows. Can't finish, but he's fouled by Harris. Good take by Hickman. Brown able to block it from behind. And Ben's headed to the free throw line. 83-62, 2:11 to play. America Credit Union money answers for people who know Gonzaga does, in fact, exist. Plus, show your Bulldog pride with your Zags debit card offered only at Numerica. Federally insured by NCAA. Greg makes the first free throw. Only place Ben has missed from is the line. Misses that one as well. EK tips it out into the hands of Nembhard. Bulldogs get it back and will run the clock, leading by 22. Nembhard crossing up Adams, but then lost the handle. Kansas comes away with it. Harris on the run, leaves it for Jackson, who throws down a monstrous dunk. Gonzaga the other way with it. It's Hickman across half court. Bill Self going to go deep into his bench here at our next stoppage in play.
Waving the white flag.
Hickman dribbles it down just inside a half court. 12 seconds to shoot, 1:38 to play. Hickman defended by Brown on the switch. Pass to Gregg. Looks down low. EK catches. Kicks out Hickman. Three. Nope. Misses wide left. EK fights for the offensive rebound. Spins on Adams. Gets up a shot. He hits it and he's fouled. Everything, and I mean everything, is going right for this Gonzaga team in the second half as the Bulldogs are closing in on another NCAA tournament victory. .125 to play as EK steps to the free throw line. Substitutions for both teams. Harris checks out. Adams heads to the bench. And the walk-ons take the floor for both teams. For the Bulldogs, Joe Few is on the floor. Luka Krajinovic has checked in for the first time. We saw him on Thursday night, but in for the first time here this afternoon. Jun Suk-yeol was also in, along with Colby Brooks. For Kansas, Dylan Wilhite, the walk-on, is checked in. Graham converts the three-point play to make it 87-64. Also in Stosic for the Bulldogs, replacing Graham, and then Michael Jankovic for Kansas. Jackson, left side pass. McDowell. Step back over Stosic, misses the three. Rebound tipped by June, controlled by Krajinovic. Luka will bring it up the floor for GU. Krajinovic turns the corner, loses it, and the official will say out of bounds off of the Bulldogs freshman guard. Zags 87-64 thanks to a dominating second half here in Salt Lake City. Jackson across half court with a dribble, gets a screen from Wilhite, defended by June. Gets right to the rim and scores. 87-66, Krajinovic with under a minute to play, into the front court with the dribble, gives it up to June. Fakes the three, gets Brown to bite on it, pull-up jumper, right elbow, good!
There you go, June.
June scored a bucket on Thursday night. He's into the scorebook here tonight, 89-66. A little push off by Pavle as Jackson was trying to get around him. He was off balance, and then Pavle just got a forearm into his ribs and shoved him about 6 feet. So Jackson's going to shoot free throws.
Detroit, Huddy. It's been a while since I've been in Detroit. Have you been in Detroit before?
I have. I was actually there for the Super Bowl back when the Seahawks played in 06.
Oh, that one stings to bring that one up.
Yes, it does.
That one was if you want to go conspiracy theory, and rightfully so, you rewatch that. That's the NFL might be rigged one. Right? No, remember how do you get a legal block when you're on defense when you throw a pick? Remember that call? Yep. You know, there was just so many weird, Anyway, go Zags.
Into the front court, Stosic. 2 seconds different shot clock to Gamecock. He gives it up to Few. Now over to Krajinovic. Krajinovic picks up his dribble. Gets it into the hands of Colby Ross. Ross dribbling between his legs. The lefty shoots, misses. Brown comes away with a rebound. June tries to poke it away, but Kansas will keep possession of the basketball. McDowell brings it into the front court. Driving on Few. A foul is called on Joe with 0.8 of a second left, and the celebration will have to wait. McDowell's going to step to the free throw line.
Oops.
Gonzaga trailed by 1 at the break, the Bulldogs have led by as many as 27 in the second half. It's 89-67. McDowell to the line for the first time today. And the free throw is good. Second one coming from McDowell. Rims out. Stosic rebounds. There's the horn. And the Zags are headed back to the Sweet 16. For the 9th straight year, Gonzaga will play in the second round of the NCAA tournament. They're headed to Detroit thanks to an 89-68 win over Kansas here in Salt Lake City. Mo, just a dominating second half performance.
Yeah, one of the better second halves we've ever had of all the runs we've had at Gonzaga. I mean, we just shot the lights out. What did we go in the second half? 16 of 24, 5 of 6 from downtown. Took this game in complete control at the start of the second half.
Zags win at 89-68. American Credit Union, money answer for people know Gonzaga does in fact exist. Plus, show your Bulldog pride with your Zags debit card offered only at America, federally insured by NCAA. Quick recap of tonight's game coming up next. You're listening to Gonzaga Bulldog basketball from Learfield.
BECU. You've heard the name, seen the letters. But what does BECU stand for? Simply put, not-for-profit BECU stands for people. For charting your own path. For choosing what's right for members instead of what's profitable for someone else. Because they are the reason our credit union exists. So we do